last time in Renascence, while the party was recuperating in the weeks after their daring raid on Daggermore, Noelle received an ugly shock at Le Chateau downtown when she crossed paths with her long estranged adoptive family, Amelia and Martin Quartermanche. Even worse, they were in the company of a young woman who was the spitting image of Lorelei Quartermanche, Noelle's former identity with them before leaving the family. Shaken by a brief exchange with Amelia, she retreated with Jade back to the Presidium to consider her options. At the same time, Aloran received a troubling sending message from La Chirag, which prompted her to begin gathering protective amulets to hide her friends and family from a potential threat. When the party finally crossed paths again that afternoon, Noelle opened up to them about her family and her past and asked if they would be willing to support her in the coming confrontation. With the party united on this task, they spent the remainder of the day in an extended game of cat and mouse with the Quartermanche's new Lorelei, who they came to learn was another changeling named Sandy. While their initial conversation seemed to be that the Quartermanches were simply ensuring Noelle wasn't planning anything against them, Noelle came to decide she needed to just sit down with Amelia and have a conversation. The party attempted to set up a meeting with the Quartermanches, and despite Amelia's initial reluctance and Sandy's attempts to put the matter to bed, Noelle finally got her sit down with Amelia and issued an ultimatum. The Emerald Coast was her home, and if Amelia wasn't willing to take her shady business elsewhere, Noelle would treat her as she would any other threat to her new home. Both Amelia and Sandy seemed to take that as a direct challenge, and Sandy expressed a strange excitement at the prospect of this conflict escalating. The party also noted that Sandy seemed to have a preternatural sense of some sort, as she was seemingly able to detect Aloran's spider form, despite her attempts to hide herself and spy. So we're picking up at night on the 24th of Enlareth. The party has regrouped outside Le Chateau and are discussing their next move. Are there any questions before we begin?
I think we went back to the Presidium, actually.
Okay, you're back at the Presidium.
Sorry, I remember us ending at the Presidium because I remember you saying we were going to bed, but...
That's fine. I mean, we can start the next morning if you want to.
Sure. Not really a question.
Out of character question, does... Okay, sorry, and this is... And if I need to ask him in character, I can do that. But does Gideon always see Noelle as Noelle? Like, no matter what Noelle turns into, does she always look like Noelle to Gideon?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
All right, gasking in character it is.
The next morning at breakfast, as we resume.
Did Gideon attend breakfast, or do I need to go hunt him down?
No, he'll be at breakfast.
So, this might seem a little out of left field, Gideon, but whenever... Well, I guess actually you wouldn't know. Do you see changelings as they are all the time, or do you see what they turn into as well?
It's a very strangely specific question. Gideon will take a moment to review the rules for True Sight.
Google that, Burberry.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find my book, How I Work.
Both.
Oh, so you can see the thing that she's attempting to be, but also the thing that she is.
Correct.
Does that ever cause headaches?
I have not seen in a traditional sense in a very, very long time. I've grown accustomed to it.
Oh, all right, I'm sorry. That opened a whole other thing. When did that start? Was that like what caused that?
I mean, he and Aaron just kind of look at each other and look back at you. It's like...
Burberry seems very earnest in his curiosity.
I think the read you would get off of Gideon is just that he is a little like, really? Is that not obvious?
Never
And he
assume
would,
that what might be obvious is obvious because sometimes there's a hamster in the mechanics.
and then the face just goes to like a okay. Aaron, I think at that point pipes up and she says, "We suffered both of our injuries during the incursion."
That makes sense.
Out of character question because Kat I think is dumb right now.
Yes.
So I understand that like Gideon is blind.
From what he's saying, it's different.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
no,
a
I know, but like,
Daredevil situation.
Magic Daredevil, right?
Right.
right, but like my brain doesn't go like normally when you say, oh, it's a blind person, you think, oh, well, they can't see. You don't think, oh, they see things as they are, like an echolocations. My brain goes, there has to be something besides I went blind. Especially if he can see both versions of what they're going for.
I think Aaron would probably elaborate a little bit. He'd be like,
Thank God.
it took some time before we were able to work around the injuries that we sustained. This suit took the better part of 2 years for me to finish.
And it is a lovely piece.
It was a huge relief to finish. The alternative was very painful. Similarly, we've spent a decent amount of time trying to find a way to restore some semblance of sight.
Oh, so please feel free to tell me to shut up if you don't want to talk about this. It's just incredibly fascinating. So was it like a...
You see Gideon's mouth twitch, and then Aaron just like puts a hand on his, and just like he stops, and she'll just pull it back, like very, very briefly.
Like an I'm annoyed twitch?
Like, I'm about to tell you to shut up, and then Aaron's like, be chill. She like puts a hand on his, and just like, it's okay.
Right. Okay. Limit it to 2 then. So was it a magical way that you got the way that you see down, or was it I earned this scenario? Or I mean, I guess it can be both. Magic does work in the doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Cat's brain is blanking for a second there. Oh, right. So does that mean that you can see like illusory magic as well? Or do you just not know that it's there?
I can see it. And I can see through it.
So you can identify when something's an illusion, and you can identify when something is not its original form.
He will look across the table to Aloran, and he will say, "That's correct."
Oh, does that mean that whenever somebody wears those clothes that like have different outfits inside, you can see the outfit that the clothes are portraying, but also the rags that the outfits act. Ow! And for Gideon's perspective, he'd be able to see Barry pinch Burr really hard.
Are your clothes magic necessarily?
I don't think he has X-ray vision for clothing.
Right. Well, now he does. No.
I hope he doesn't.
Well, okay. Then there would be an ow, and then the question would immediately stop.
Sure. I think Gideon will probably just leave it be then if Berber is dropping it.
Go ahead, Lauren.
I was just going to say, before we actually went to the Presidium, the meeting was this morning that we were trying to fuck with.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is I had basically 0 resources to work with last night as far as spells or anything. And presumably we could have gone to bed fairly early. I don't know how late we ended up staying out, but...
I mean, it was like probably 10 by the time you got back to the Presidium.
So we could have gotten up around 6 a.m.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I always imagine the Presidium has breakfast really early for no reason.
That's right.
I don't think that's an unfair assumption.
It's just something Gideon's like, breakfast is at 6. No, this is not a discussion.
Well, I mean, the Presidium does have like very military vibes, so that would make sense.
For the 5 people who live there.
Yeah, it's like, Gideon, come on, there's only 5 of us, and it was in a doctrine written 200 years ago. Breakfast is at 6.
This is not a discussion. These are the rules. And we are nothing if we do not have our rules.
Do you want this place to fall into chaos?
At 7 a.m.
God, if she ever heard that, Lauren would literally just be like, Gideon, you're such a buzzkill. Let loose, man. Get a drink.
Well, something productive to mention, I suppose.
Better than being a buzzed.
Do keep your eyes peeled, Gideon. It seems like we might be getting in a little bit of a tussle with a changeling.
He will probably straighten up a little bit. I think Erin also does seem to kind of cue on that. She kind of seems a little more attentive, and they ask, what sort of tussle exactly?
Well, oh boy. My abusive mother is back in town. She uses a changeling to deceive people and manipulate them and to get whatever she wants. I was that changeling for a long time, and now it's a new one, and we're not cool with them.
There's a very pregnant silence in the Great Hall of the Presidium right now, and I think like Rainer and Zakundo are both like sitting at their side of the table, just like staring at each other, like looking back to you, like got heavy. And I think Erin will speak up after a few seconds of the silence, and she will say, I am very sorry to hear that. That can't be easy to deal with.
I appreciate the kind words. No, I've had a lot of time between then and now to work past some of the issues I've had to deal with, but I know for a fact that what my mother, Amelia, is not good news. She's ruined a lot of lives in Aelia, and if she's showing up here, then I can only assume that more lives are going to be ruined in her wake. So we are treating her as we would anyone who is going to threaten this town.
Well, I think Gideon will speak up at that point, and he will say, glad to hear that you intend to take a stand against this person. They, I'm sure, have done much to deserve this ire. I can keep an eye out for this other changeling, and I can let you know if I see them.
Should you show them what they look like? Just regular?
You haven't seen their true form yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
You've just seen 2 forms so far.
Got
it. You could show him those forms if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not... Frankly, I think if they come around here, they're not going to be in any form aside from maybe someone familiar to the Presidium. I'm not
Probably right
asking
now.
that you necessarily, walk around with us or anything. I'm more just saying for the safety of this place, changelings are difficult to spot for anyone who doesn't have vision like yours, Gideon. And so just keep your eyes open around here at the very least while we're doing stuff.
That I can do. I am obliged to ask, is your mother or this changeling, to the best of your knowledge, involved in any sort of extraplanar worship, conjuration? Has she ever consorted with fiends or elementals, to the best of your knowledge?
Not to the best of my knowledge. I wish I could say yes to get you guys involved, but to be honest, no, I don't think so.
I am, obviously, as you gather, obliged to ask.
Wait, since Gideon asked that question, I feel like the Lord's going to ask him a question. Like, hey Gideon, how do you feel about people summoning elementals to fight for you? Just curious.
The look you get from Gideon is probably one of the iciest ones he's ever shot you. And you can feel like Raynor and Secundo, like, they were already uncomfortable with the direction this conversation's gone, and they are like pulling away from you to like the end of the table.
Not good. Got it.
Lauren, I'm starting to think that you're not going to rest until Gideon bans you from the building.
No, I was just curious because no reason. Absolutely no reason. It'll never happen here, I swear to God.
This is the best thing, because when Jacob's NPCs are annoyed at Lauren, Platt can just turn his head to stare at her directly. No camera needed.
Yeah. There's definitely, the vibe in the room definitely went cold with that question. And I think Gerald is his fucking name. That guy.
Yeah.
He's here too. He will probably chime in at that point, probably just kind of like lean in and be like, I'm sure that was a well-intentioned question, but I mean, you know they've...
It wasn't like, I was just curious because it's something I learned my most recent level up, even though they don't know what that means. I was just curious if it's very frowned upon, so if anything, I can avoid doing that.
You would know.
So maybe if you
would know this just as a general warden thing. Elementals. Something in general is a very shaky practice. Like familiars are probably like the most accepted summoned thing. Like any additional like level up in terms of like whether it's conjuring fey spirits or elementals or God forbid undead or fiends, right?
Yeah.
Like these things are like widely known to have repeatedly ravaged the face of the earth.
Okay, cool. So
During
you won't
incursions.
ask that question.
It is like, yeah, it's touchy. Like a lot of people don't know much about magic, but they do know like fucking elementals are fucking assholes.
Okay. I think that maybe instead of asking
The only thing worse is a fucking straight up
what's
demon
his
or
face,
devil,
she
right?
will turn to Gerald and be like, what if like in the future I could turn into an elemental, but I'm still myself? Is that still very frowned upon?
I mean, if it's you, I think it's fine.
Okay, cool.
I don't think that. Why would that be a problem?
I don't know. Okay. I asked Gideon that question, and then I'll ask him that question.
Sure.
I'll be like, we'll just keep digging the hole. Why
Sure.
not? He hates me enough as it is.
I mean, you would have that basic understanding just as a warden, and I mean, Burberry would know it as a member of the conclave. Like everyone's vaguely aware. Just like the incursions devastated cities and countrysides, like huge portions of the planet over the course of history, multiple times, and it's always fiends or elementals of some kind.
Big deal.
Yeah. What would Gideon's reaction be to turning into an elemental? If it's myself.
As long as you keep your fingers to yourself, I don't have any problem with it.
Okay, cool. Anyways, please continue. Sorry to derail. I was gonna get game there for a second.
I'm not sure there's much to continue on this discussion. I've told Gideon everything that's super important for him to know at the moment.
No.
I suppose we, the Lost Emeralds, are going to need to talk as well about what we want to do about this. Because, yeah, things are kind of in a weird space right now. We need to intervene, but how exactly to do that is going to be the big question. I've had a couple thoughts, not so much direct plans, but things we need to keep in mind. Obviously, Sandy is the biggest problem.
Are we just saying this in front of everybody here?
Well, sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, honestly, Gideon doesn't seem to react to it. Like he doesn't have a reaction. He just continues eating.
Leave murdering your mother to myself.
I was going to say, important things to note. Sandy is a huge problem. I think one thing we have to keep in mind is I don't think we can just deal with Sandy or just deal with Amelia. I think if we're going to do anything, they both have to be captured or dealt with however we need to do that. Because...
Not murder. Just throwing that on the table. Murder bad, guys. The Lord's lying real hard.
Are you thinking something along the lines of a good old hog wrestle and then capture?
What if it's just preemptive self-defense?
Okay.
Yeah. Preemptive I like that, John. We can use that at our court case.
I don't like that logic.
I don't either.
Sorry.
Yeah, point more so being, we need to, if we're going to intervene in Amelia's bullshit, we are definitely going to have to pull her aside and at least try a zone of truth. And so that means we're probably going to have to capture her.
Another thing to consider is that she told it, like, she literally said they were going to, like, the railway station or whatever. Could always talk to them. And be like,
the Emerald Rail Company Expo.
Yeah, try to talk to the person and be like, Amelia's a terrible person. You should never do it. And with your help, Noelle, I'm sure you would be able to tell them, don't do it. And they'd be like, okay.
Maybe. I mean, that's certainly something to consider. We have to... I guess we have to be careful what fights we pick. I definitely don't want this to turn into some huge ordeal like, you know, the whatever week we were dealing with Willem or whatever. The faster we can do this, the better, in my opinion.
I mean, if you go and talk to the people, like, then we don't have to deal with Amelia or Sandy. They just get told no, and then they leave.
If it's that simple, yes, you are correct. Sorry, only other thought I need to get out of my head is just that Amelia, I do not want any of you to kill her, and I don't want to kill her myself. I have an idea of how we can deal with her, but we do need to... It doesn't matter until we capture her.
I have some reservations about that, but I will respect your wishes.
I understand.
I just think she's gonna come back at some point. This is just like anyways, that's fine. It's not like Lost Rod's not coming back or nothing.
Just dealing with one of them causes problems no matter what. If we just deal with Amelia, then Sandy is kind of given... Like, she could just become Amelia at that point. And if we just deal with Sandy, then we've essentially killed the daughter of some traveling noble, which is not going to end well for us.
Technically, you're technically her daughter, so technically, you could just be like, "Hey guys, I'm alive!" The big joke. She was pretending to be me.
Would they have to continue to pretend to be Amelia's daughter then to keep that going?
I mean, you could just like be like, "Hey guys, I'm alive. I'm gonna go do whatever I want to now. Have fun without me." And toodaloo.
That's an angle to consider if we, get stuck in a corner. But we could start with just going to the Emerald Rail Company and trying to talk them out of engaging with her in any meaningful way.
That'll be the less violent approach.
It would. I don't have high hopes. I think money is going to win over ethics.
Fair.
It seems to do that a lot.
But you have God rule persuasion, Noah.
We just have to convince the DM to let me make that roll.
I mean, there's ethics, and then Barnaby does the finger quote, ethics. We just gotta convince them which one they think should be the right one.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty persuasive. I can help you. I can do good cop, bad cop, but I'll be the crazy bear that rips off people's heads. I mean, I'm not doing that, Gideon. Don't.
Gideon is very pointedly looking at his food and not engaging with this conversation.
We made breakfast so awkward for them at this point.
However, is definitely just like, oh my god, like sitting next to you, like listening.
Wait, it's just a joke because I would rip off Will's head.
Is it?
No.
That's the part that worries me.
It's fine. It's fine. You worry too much, Pat.
That's my job.
And getting paid to worry sounds annoying.
Oh, we don't get paid.
Oh.
I thought the Crumbling Castle would be enough of a cue.
They worry as a hobby.
It's a passion.
That sounds like a crap of passion, if you ask me.
Well, kind of committed to it.
It's literally a passion project.
Good times, good times.
All right, well, we have one idea we could try.
Hey, I would like to point out, even though I just did mention ripping off a person's head, I did come up with the least violent first idea.
That's true.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just suggested hog wrestling.
Oh yeah, I was going to address that, but yes, Barnaby, that is on the table.
Anyways, I'll leave y'all to your breakfast because I'm sure we've imposed enough.
Good luck with your terrible mother, Miss Noel.
Thank you. Good luck with your terrible head.
I think everyone at the table kind of like sits up and like they like look at Gideon.
Oh, is that a secret?
Gerald is just kind of like hand over his mouth. It's like not looking at Gideon.
Lauren's chuckling right now. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I totally know what you're talking about.
And I think as you guys get up to leave, you definitely hear Aaron kind of turning to Gideon like, what did she mean by that? So you guys are heading out of the Presidio.
No, well, you just Gideon and his fucking Willem head, bro. Even I didn't out him.
I forgot it was a secret.
It's fine. You were just talking about his eyes, his messed up head.
Well, yeah, I realized that after I said that could be easily misinterpreted, but I knew Gideon would know what I meant.
It came out wrong. Gideon.
Good luck with your ugly face. Later.
Bye, nerd. All right. So, Presidium, what are you guys doing? It's
very early.
Like an hour after sunrise. The sand dunes outside the fortress gates are being swept by the wind. Some light cloud cover, lots of seagulls flying around just off the coast. You can hear them all going.
Could I, just real, doesn't have to be a whole scene, but I was going to tell Jade to just kind of, whenever she goes out, just wear a cloak, because Amelia did see her, and just be wary while we're working on this project.
Sure. Should we be taking more precautions, though? I mean, how dangerous is the situation?
I think today is going to decide how dangerous the situation is. For now, you are very, very much on the periphery of all of it. I don't think there's anything here, aside from the fact that you and I were sitting together at that restaurant. Amelia has no context for who you are or what your relation to any of us is. Which means the cloak is perhaps even more unnecessary. But I figure it's something to just, make you not as obvious. And I will keep you up to date on how things progress.
Sure. Should we meet back here then tonight?
Well, while we're figuring this out, I'm not sure, I'm probably going to be going in and out a lot. You're welcome to spend your days as you see fit, and I will be around, but just not as much as I have been.
Well, given that is the case, I did have a plan to head up to Belgrade at some point while I was in town, so I think I will see what's happening on this front.
Okay,
so,
that works.
Perhaps Professor Fulrath is ready to take a trip. I don't know. We'll see.
Professor what?
Fulrath. Excuse me. I mentioned her briefly. I had spoken with her a little bit before the whole caravan thing went south.
Mm-hmm.
She's a professor up at Belgrade University. She studies first era ruins, dragons and such. She was planning an expedition up to Illegal at some point next year, and mentioned she needed some assistance. I thought, if I'm back in town in time, I might take her up on that. So
that sounds cool.
I thought so.
Oh, look, Adlar just walked in.
Well, goodbye, Adlar.
You hear a distant whistling sound and look up and see two giant flaming rocks careening directly for them. As they draw closer, you see them with these deeply gouged eyes and screaming mouths.
What the fuck is that?
It's the hate comet from
the what?
Spelljammer. What's it called?
Oh, my brain went straight to Majora's Mask.
I mean, that's where I was thinking too.
It looks like it. No, there's literally a fucking thing. I think it's called a murder comet, and it's just like it's a big flaming face that just careens through space. So that's how I plan to kill Adlar and Jade if they ever meet. So, what are you guys doing at this point now that you and Jade have established your game plan?
Gonna go find the Emerald Rail Company.
Emerald Rail Company. Okay, cool. So, go ahead and I guess give me an investigation check.
Boy, would someone love to roll this and I'll help?
What are you looking for specifically?
Their office?
A building that says Emerald Rail Company and Associates?
Cool. Good enough.
Ain't no investigator.
I have a +2.
Burberry, we will assist you.
Okay, that's worrisome.
Remember, none of us are smart in this.
Nope. We are
No, I know. It's
Smart?
just I'm mildly abused because I don't have anything in investigation. Like, I didn't put any proficiency or points into it.
I think that's all of us, honestly.
Okay, well, that's an unnatural 20.
Okay, very nice. So, with an unnatural 20, you would probably, over the course of the next hour, be able to determine a couple of things. getting back into Freeport proper and just kind of looking around, asking around.
We can go ask the freaking conclave since they know where the fake is.
You would hear that the Emerald Rail Company has a not necessarily an office, but they do have a campus in Freeport. Here in it's going to be the North Bay neighborhood. You would also hear that their corporate headquarters is actually across the bay in Woodhall.
Oh. Is that a long trip?
It's like an hour by ferry.
We'll do it.
Okay.
I'll make the sacrifice.
5 silver per person.
Can I swim?
So,
Man, who would have seen that coming?
gosh, it's like being back in session 3 all over again.
5 silver.
5 silver a ticket. This is outrageous. Blah, 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 blah.
I'll pay for the ferry, thanks.
Fuck this town.
Just like Sunday, how it's done to y'all with a hotel price.
I remember that. That was insane, David.
That hurt.
10 gold pieces for a fucking room at the Waffle House?
Per person,
Per
thank you.
person.
Per person.
It's a fancy, swanky hotel.
Not just a Waffle House, it's their Waffle House.
Who charges per person?
Das Waffle House.
This place.
Das Waffle House.
Anyway, we go across
Anyway.
the ferry, the thing.
Okay, so you guys board the ferry, head out to Woodhall. It's a short ride. It's been a while since you guys have made this trip. The last time probably would have been while you guys were running from Willem.
Yeah.
Y'all hit the ferries right before they were about to shut down for the day. Got the last ride over, and very different circumstances now. Much lower stakes for the moment. And you're able to kind of take in the relaxing sea breeze, the gentle toss and turn of the waves against the prow of the ship, kind of watch as Freeport kind of recedes into the horizon behind you. Towers downtown, just kind of glittering in the morning sun. And before long, you are pulling up to the wharf in Woodhall, the Gibbous Quay. Gibbous Quay. I don't know how you say that word. Quaey.
I think it's a key.
Gibbous Quay. Okay, cool. We'll go with Quay. And you're back in Woodhall. Much smaller town than Freeport. Maybe like 10, 15,000 people to Freeport's few 100,000. Much more industrial, sort of lower cost of living on this side of the bay over here. But it's the largest port that kind of services sort of the bay traversal there. And like behind Woodhall, you can see the mountains sort of rising both to the north and the south, kind of flanking the gap that leads into Verdant Vale, deeper in the Emerald Coast. But your business is much closer at hand. You guys have a plan to visit the Emerald Rail Company, and it is not a hard place to find. They have a pretty sizable, probably like a 6 or 7 story office building to themselves, not too far off the quay itself. And adjacent to that building, there is a very large, nearly finished train yard. You can see that it's currently still under construction. You can see all the hoods and platforms, that are sort of being put into place. You can see numerous sets of railroad tracks sort of trailing out and snaking around this large, expansive sort of stretch of land they've got all cordoned off. workers are just kind of milling about all over the place. It's very, very busy. You can see that there are a number of rail cars sort of scattered around this yard as well. Many of them sort of like set up in those platforms, just waiting for their first trip. And approaching this building, it's a very busy, bustling place. A lot of activity around here. What are you guys looking to do here?
Are we, Lauren? This was your pitch. Are we going in there with honest intentions, or are we trying to mislead them into avoiding any interactions with Amelia? Because we could go in there and be like, yeah, we're with the CDI and we're investigating this woman and, blah, 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 whatever. But we could also just go in there and say, like, hey, this woman is awful. Don't do any business with her. One of those might be a felony.
One of them might be a what?
A felony.
A felony.
I feel like we could start off with good intentions and then be like, look, we really don't want to, we're trying to keep it really low key. And then if they're not listening, then we say CD.
Yes, the CDI, not to be confused with the CD guys. We don't like those people.
I think we go in there with like good intentions, just be like, look, like, this lady's terrible. Don't do this.
Flee for your lives!
We'll see. Maybe the CEO of this large company is a very nice, down-to-earth man. Let's find out. Or woman.
No way. I feel like the easiest way is to like try to name drop that family that got like completely ruined, like the really.
I mean, they were famous in Alia, but I don't know if anyone around here is even gonna know.
Like, I mean, we could always try and just be like, them, she ruined them, and we're currently investigating it, type of thing. You know? If they're not listening to reason at first, then we kind of throw that in, and if they won't listen to that, then it's like part of the CDR, we're doing an investigation because of this shape. Okay. Don't do business unless you want to see your railroad company fail.
That's not a bad angle, at least. Yeah, like that notion of like you are going to be scammed.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that approach, and then if things go south, we maybe have to pivot, but we'll see. For the moment, I guess we'll go in.
Okay. Cool. So you guys head in the front doors. And what you find is a pretty swanky little reception area. They've got these beautiful white marble tiled floors, rich dark wood paneling along the walls, red upholstery, and the velvet sort of seating.
It's very nice.
At the front desk, which is sort of flanked on either side by hallways that lead deeper into the building, there is a young Vidalcan woman seated at a typewriter, very, very intently tapping away. So I will say there's a decent number of people kind of milling about in here as well, and there's a couple people already in line waiting for her as she's sort of processing whatever she's dealing with. So you guys hop in line.
I have something else we could do. We could also drop the Lost Emerald names about Monty-Bon instead of CDI and be like, look, we're doing this for the better good of like Emerald Guild.
Oh, right, we have clout.
Yeah, we do have clout. So anyways, please continue.
Wait, actually this could be relevant. Did that whole Lost Emeralds article thing get posted or printed at some point? That was like at least a week or two ago at this point, right? We talked
yeah. That would have been in the paper probably about a week ago at this point. To Strat's, I'm sure, his disappointment, it was not front page material. It was kind of buried a few pages in, but he did get a pretty lengthy little write-up about you guys and your story about Monty-Bon, which was interesting to see. I think reading it, you definitely would have seen he took a lot of creative liberties to sort of like up the drama. You know, there was some very fluid details of the dark and dank abyss into which you know led the charge. Stuff that you didn't necessarily cover, but as far as the actual hard facts that you gave him, like he presented all of that faithfully, and he left your names completely out of it, as requested, credited only as the lost emeralds.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess we're. Who are we asking for? Like the manager? That feels weird.
Are you gonna be called Karen?
I don't want to be Karen today.
You want to talk to a customer service rep?
What's that?
I said, do you want to talk to a customer service rep?
I feel like we should talk to them about, like, with the intentions of getting in on the railroad that they're building. Like, we're interested.
Do we want to start with a lie?
I mean, if we say that we're interested in it, like, that we're not saying, it's not technically a lie because we are interested in the well-being of the railroad. We might not be, like, sponsors for it, but, like, oh, we're here to talk about, like, the development of the railroad kind of thing.
Yeah, we want to talk to someone who is perhaps in charge of overseeing the business side of the expo or something like that. That's where my brain goes. I guess we can muddle our way through it.
As we do everything.
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys are in line, and in about 10 minutes, the other two individuals who were in front of you have kind of gone off to the side to take a seat and wait. And it's now your turn. The Midalkin woman looked up to you and she said, "Hi, welcome to Emerald Rail Company. What can I do for you?"
Hi there. We heard that there was this Emerald Rail Expo going on before the end of the year.
Yes, we are putting on a large, grand exposition to showcase all of our potential new engines before we select our finalists.
And we heard that there are potentially investors coming to this show. We were wondering if we could talk to someone who would be in charge of managing that side of the show, or someone who could help us figure out a little bit about that process.
Are you interested in this investor?
We have interest in the rail, and we are trying to see what options are available to us.
Okay, give me one moment, and she will kind of finish whatever she was typing, change that paper out, grab a new one, and begin taking down notes. So I will make an appointment for you with Mr. Yafel. He's in charge of financing and foreign investment. Who should I say is asking to meet with him?
The Lost Emeralds.
The Lost Emeralds. Okay. And to clarify again, you're interested in exploring investment options?
Yeah.
Can we be a little more specific in exactly what it is that you're looking for? Or is this regarding lands out in the Verdant Vale? Are you looking to get in on potential expansions in the future? Stock options?
That was just something we wanted to discuss with the gentleman.
To tell you the truth, we're still sort of getting into this. We're not 100% sure on all our decisions yet, but we wanted a little guidance.
She'll kind of lean forward a little bit with a very kind of polite little smile. She'll be like, "Are you sure you wouldn't maybe prefer to speak with a brokerage firm of some kind?
Thank you so much.
I think they might be able to help you a lot."
I'm sure he'll be able to help us.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Do I get advantage since Noel's been?
Yeah.
My brain literally just thought of a Lauren going, "Oh, you're sweet. Go away."
Yeah. Please shut up. Oh, the first one was a nat 1. So. Second one was a 16 plus 5.
So how much?
21.
21? Okay. So her blue eyes kind of just like, oh, okay. Well, I will let him know
Thank you so much.
that you are.
God, Lauren's a Karen, y'all.
I like the idea that like the reason that because whenever you roll disadvantage advantage, I like the idea that like both things happen. So like she notes how rude you're really thinking, but she's like, I'm going to take that as being she has a lot of money and is entitled. Okay, like
what are these?
I think part of it too is like this is the first time she's really like stopped to like look at the whole party. Like at this point, she's really just kind of been talking to whoever was in front of her, just like, yeah, I'm doing my job, whatever. That kind of shook her a little bit, and like the smile kind of faltered. She's like, oh god. And then she started looking at the rest of you and like realized like, oh, you guys are like really heavily armed in this lobby.
No idea what you're talking about. All I have is a book.
And there's a moment where she's just like, you can tell she's considering asking about the weaponry, and then like the eyes kind of widen a little bit, and she's like, those lost emeralds, forgive me. I did not realize who I was talking to.
Another lost emerald?
So sorry. And it's been a hectic few months. Forgive me. Yes, the lost emeralds are here for Mr. Yfel, and I will let them know that you are here personally. She will take that out of the typewriter, and you will see her just kind of push her chair in and head down one of the hallways to the left, and just you hear her heels just clacking down the hall.
All right, we'll take a seat.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are probably waiting there for like about 5 minutes before she comes back, and she says, I have let Mr. Yfel's secretary know that you are here. He will be notified as soon as he is out of his meeting with the board, and I'm sure he'll be very, very happy to see you at his earliest convenience. Thank you for your patience. She'll get back to her seat. It's probably another like 15 minutes before you see this kind of dark green skin, maybe like a half orc woman. Like there's no fangs, but like she's got a very, very orcish complexion. Very tall for a human. Kind of walks out in her little pencil skirt and calls out to lost emeralds for Mr. Yfel. And
That's us.
you guys all follow her down the hall as she says, I have to confess, I'm a little surprised to hear storied lost emeralds have made their way over to Emerald Railroad. I didn't think railroads would be of much interest to folks like you, but I suppose after everything, you must have a bit of coin to spend.
You could say that. I mean, plus you have emerald in your name, we have emerald in our name. There could be branding opportunities. Who knows?
Excellent.
I would definitely make that point to Mr. Yfel. I think he might actually really, really enjoy hearing that. And she will lead you into sort of a side office on the first floor. And she will sort of gesture to the seating area. It's like a smaller version of the lobby, similar paneling, similar upholstery. Just a smaller reception area. And you're the only people in here. She'll say, make yourselves comfortable. There's some coffee on the pots, some snacks and assortments. Mr. Yfel is still meeting with the board, but as soon as he gets in, I think he will be very excited to meet you all.
Do we know where the board meeting is?
That would be in the boardroom.
Oh, no, I don't have that. I'm curious if, like, when we were walking, did we, like, see anything?
Oh
or...
no, the first floor. You would have passed like an intersection where there was like a number of like lifts, like were in the Le Chateau, the chateau. So you would have seen that there are lifts up to the top floors, but so far like the bottom floor seems to be primarily like office space, and not a lot of necessarily like big meeting areas.
You said this was like a multi-story thing, right? Yeah.
It's like a 6 or 7 story tower. So you guys take a seat. It's probably like another hour of waiting. Very, very dull, I know. Before the door finally swings open and you see this copper dragonborn man in a slightly oversized like tweed suit walk in. He's got a bit of a belly too, which probably explains the tailoring here. He might be trying to obscure it. But he walks in and he's got, his little pinched knees glasses, at the tip of his nose. And he says, Amanda, cancel the rest of my readings for the day. I need to hit the greens. I'm sorry. It's just this morning. It's been a night. And she's like, Mr. You fell. The Lost Emeralds are here to see you. And he kind of stops like, what do you mean? Oh! At this point, realizing who all is sitting in the room, very excitedly clasps his hands, says, forgive my manner. How do you all do? I am Udamorn Yafel, Director of Investments and Foreign. How do you do? How are all of you? Very, very good to see all of you.
Mr. Yafel, it's nice to meet you. I'll go shake his hand.
Yes. I must confess, I was not expecting to see the likes of you in my office. Your names are quite storied, though I'm afraid I don't know all of your names personally. Paper failed to mention those exact things. But,
do you have time for a meeting?
I was honestly considering taking a quick jaunt out, but
I don't think this will take too long.
I think we could clear up some time for the five of you. Sure. Please come in. And he'll lead you guys into his office. And you can see he's got pretty swanky little setup here for himself. Number of chintzy looking little awards sitting up on his shelf. Handful of books on this, very finely leather bound. Like it's all a clear display of C-suite bullshit. He'll round his desk and he'll suggest the chairs. Please, Amanda, please, could you bring in the rest of the chairs for them, please? There's only like 2 in front of the desk.
I do not need one. I can stand. Thank you.
No, nonsense. No need to stand on formalities.
Oh, no. It's really good for my sciatica, actually.
Say no more. My cousin's dealing with that right now. Terrible. Well, what can I do for you, Lost Emeralds? Heroes of Montalban.
Well,
ironically, we're looking for direction.
Direction.
We're not really looking for direction, Burberry.
No, because you were saying that we were looking at or wanting to be guided through investment opportunities.
Oh,
that was
a lie. What?
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Mr. Yafel, thank you for taking the time. We have a vested interest in keeping the Emerald Coast safe. That's kind of our MO these days.
You don't say.
Yes. Obviously, you are familiar with our work on Monty Python, which is great to hear. And unfortunately, we've sort of stumbled upon something that could affect your company in the near future that we wanted to warn you about.
Affect positively? He is looking.
I did say
very
warn.
incredulously hopeful. He's like,
No.
it's not one thing, it's another. He'll take the glasses off.
Well, thankfully, this is something that's pretty easily preventable. At your Grand Expo you're going to be hosting, when is that, by the way?
That'll be the week before the solstice. Are you interested in attending? I could get you guys in if you like.
Oh, I would love to.
Excellent. Yeah, Amanda, come make a note. He's like just shouting out the door. And he tells Amanda, like, get you guys on the guest list.
Sure. What was my train of thought? So, anyway.
Great.
It's easy to preempt, thankfully. We have received word that there is someone who's coming to your expo, an investor from the Cordemanche family. Are you familiar?
His eyes do kind of light up with that. Oh, you mean Amelia? Yes, lovely woman. Wait, you said Warren?
I just leaned over to Lauren. I'm like, you see what I'm talking about?
God, Jesus. He never actually heard her talk. She's so fake.
Yes. Well, we have reason to believe that she might be engaging in some shady business practices.
Shady business.
It's hard to believe, I know, the way she presents herself, but it's the truth. And from what we've learned, engaging with her in any large-scale business opportunities, you are going to come out behind. There is no advantageous position to negotiate with this woman.
He kind of looks down his nose at all of you, kind of brow slightly furrowed, also slightly like, it's like a note of almost incredulity, I guess, in his expression. And takes a big breath, he sighs, and he kind of unclasps his hands from his large chummy, and he says, forgive my
Skepticism?
lack of response immediately. I understand you're here to warn me of a potential danger to the company, but I'm not sure I fully understand what you're trying to assert here. Ms. Cordemanche is a hard bargain. It's what I'm hearing. Which I'm inclined to say, you're not wrong. She is quite a deft negotiator, but our correspondence thus far has been quite cordial.
I think Alorn will look at Noelle and be like, raise an eyebrow, like about the name drop thing, about the family and Alia, potentially. Maybe. But as he's going on.
I mean, it's like, out of character, like, the problem is that if he doesn't have context for that, it doesn't mean anything.
And if it doesn't mean anything, we come up with something else.
Yeah. Also, we don't have any...
The other investment businesses or investment opportunities that she's like screwed over the other side that you can give as an example.
I mean, out of character, I don't have a huge list on hand, but presumably many that Noelle could list.
So if you can show that this is why we have this fear, is because there's examples of other investors that she's invested and it's screwed them over.
Because he doesn't have to know about them. It's something he could also look up, you know?
True. DM, would there have ever been any larger companies that Noelle could think of that we would have damaged in some way over the time that Noelle was working for Amelia?
I'm inclined to say that the Rousseau family incident is likely the most damning thing that she's done. Like, there was probably just a steady escalation in her exploits over the years that you lived with her. And that was sort of the capstone, the coup de grace that just kind of killed your investment in the family, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think you would probably be able to name, other people, other families, local businesses in the area. But nothing necessarily like on the same scale as the Rousseaus or the Homebrew company necessarily.
Yeah, at least not while I was there.
Right.
Well, I guess I would just ask then, Mr. Yafel, have you ever heard of a since passed philanthropist named, I forget his first name, is it Mr. Rousseau?
I think it was Albert.
It's like Alfred or Albert or something like that.
Something like that. He kind of furrows his brow, and you see like a pensive look kind of wash over his face. He takes a deep, thoughtful breath again. It's like a little waft of steam or something that kind of puffs out of his nose. Can't say that I have. The name sounds alien, though, if I'm not mistaken.
I would encourage you to look up the story. Okay. I would encourage you to look up the events surrounding that family out of Alia, if you have 10 minutes, or you could even have your secretary do it. We have reason to believe that Miss Cordemanche and that family had connections in the past, which led to a lot of problems for the Rousseau family, which you will see upon your research. And I know we're coming here with just words and not really anything to show you, but I guess I wish we could impress upon you how much we really are trying to preempt something here, sir. We are trying to do what is best for the Emerald Coast. We care about this place, and we don't want to see a company like yours end up on the wrong side of things, as the Rousseau family did.
All right, I'll say go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That's a good roll. 29.
Jesus!
God, roll hits.
Fucking Noelle.
I mean, she is speaking with complete sincerity.
Oh, I know, but
yeah, I mean, there's no deception here whatsoever. I think Yafel, he was kind of nodding along so thoughtfully, like listening very intently to what you're saying. And he kind of scoots his chair back and kind of twists a little bit. He's, if what you're saying is true, that is a troubling possibility, to be sure. I suppose it's not unheard of that a woman of Amelia's charm is concealing some darker secrets. But and I am sorry to say I don't know anything about this Rousseau family, but I'm sure Amanda could probably do some digging for me and hopefully turn something up here in short enough order. I do appreciate your intent. He'll kind of raise his arms very graciously. It's like the Lost Emeralds, as ever, are defenders of the realm, as they say back west. Excuse me. I appreciate you all stopping by. I do, and I will certainly have Amanda look into this story. You will forgive me if I am not immediately, jumping to cut all ties with Miss Quartermouch. She has expressed considerable interest in investment with us, so it's not just me who has control over that particular decision, but I will certainly look into it. If there's anything there, I can bring that to the attention of the CEO and the board and let them know perhaps it is
an investor to avoid.
Certainly. Well,
well, thank you for listening to us, honestly. I know we came in here with nothing, but I promise you a little bit of digging will yield a lot of information that will be helpful in your decision-making process.
Well, I appreciate the honest tip. Hard to say no when the Lost Emeralds come knocking, after all. I've done quite a lot for the coast. It'd be quite remiss of me to simply dismiss this outright. So, having said all of that, I do hope to make the greens before lunch. So if you will excuse me, I think I'm going to grab my clubs and head out. But
is he going golfing?
He is going
Yes.
golfing.
So you got important CEO business to attend to.
He's not even the CEO. This guy's fucking like director of investments or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you need to reach out to us, you can... Oh boy, I don't want to say the Presidium.
I mean,
The hotel we're staying at.
Through what?
Through the Green Wardens?
The Green Wardens, yes.
I'd say the Green Wardens, or I currently have Adler hooked up at a hotel.
Okay, which hotel?
I don't know, the hotels.
The hotel Adler's at, we'll say.
Yeah, I'll tell him whatever hotel Adler's at.
Hotel. That guy that you've met before.
He's like, oh, well, a charming little establishment, I've heard. I will send word if I have any developments on my end. Excuse me.
Nice. Good day to you.
Amanda. And he'll leave instructions with Amanda. You'll hear him tell her if you look into this Rousseau business back in Aelia. How long back did you say?
11 years ago, I think, would be where you get the most information.
I don't know. Well, if you could look into that, Amanda.
You should also look
when you
into
got
his
some time.
extended family.
Into the Rousseau family's goings-ons back in Aelia. I am going to depart the scene before the DM loses his voice. So, toodaloo.
All right, off we go.
And yeah, he's gonna grab his clubs and bounce. Amanda will just kind of look at you guys like, yeah, well, I hope that went as well as you hoped it would. I sounded amicable.
I think it went well. Best of luck with your research.
Well, I'll have to find the time. This expo, God. And she just death on her face right now.
Sorry.
She'll gather her things up and follow you out the door, lock up the office, and head down in the direction of the
Maybe while we're there,
office.
we could have pitched the idea about I don't know, what we pitched to her about the name thing.
Oh,
Oh. I was joking.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Well, that'll be for a future when we have a little more clout, maybe.
That's fair.
You guys get some fucking branding, some billboards up along the side of the railroad.
Little Burberry keychain.
The Lost Emeralds say the Emerald
No.
Railroad is the best railroad of the Emerald Coast.
I feel like every time somebody's like, yeah, we should purchase the Lost Emerald, Burberry just suddenly, like, goes missing or gets heavily distracted.
Burberry has banishment on himself.
No, that wouldn't work. I'd be put on the exact same plane I'm on.
Nah, you
go to the astral plane then, I think.
Yeah. You go for a minute.
Alright, we leave.
So, yeah, you leave. So, it is probably 10 o'clock.
Well, we have a whole day. Only thing I can think of is, do you want to go a spider in, Lauren, to go check out Amelia's room, maybe? To see if they're there or whatever?
Spider. Yeah, I'll go over to the hotel, turn into a spider, and go sneak. At their room.
Maybe turn into something that's not a spider. They caught you last time.
Well, a spider's so small, though.
It's just so small, and I wasn't gonna go inside. I was just gonna stay on the outside of the balcony, try to listen in.
Sure.
I doubt they're gonna be there. Actually, if they're not, well, I can't imagine Amelia's just gonna leave shit out. I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
Okay. So, catch the ferry back across the bay. 5 silver for everyone on the boat.
Even for heroes of the realm.
The freckle-faced little zitty kid who runs the ferry stall is just like, guys, it's 5 silver. I don't like the rules.
This is the same kid we complained to last time.
Yeah. Y'all pile on and head back to Freeport within an hour.
This is just my job during the school year.
So, you wanted to go look at Le Chateau?
I think we're gonna... The Lost Emeralds are probably gonna set up at some kind of nearby restaurant across the street from the chateau and then have a Lauren go do some recon.
Lauren will pass him out.
Okay. Not too far from the chateau, there was the old Café du Dorf, Basements Cafe. You guys patronized once.
Sure.
Last time you were in town. Hopping little place. Not very busy this particular time of day. It's like an hour before lunch. So y'all go post up there, and Lauren will make her way down the block to the chateau. Spider has without a trace, and begin creeping up to the window. Go ahead and give me another stealth check.
Oh, 19 plus 4 plus 10.
33. Yeah, 33. Oof. Okay, cool. So Lauren, creepy up the side of the wall. And you arrive at that corner suite window and take a peek inside. It's dark. No lights on. Curtains are like half drawn, so there's like a pretty narrow gap to look inside.
Does it look like they're like? Did they leave the room and go get? Does it look like it's been vacated?
I take me a perception check.
14.
14. Looking inside, it's hard to say. You don't see anybody moving around in there. It's still inside. And from the windows that look into the living room, you can't really see into the bedroom necessarily. Okay. Circling around to the bedroom window, you can see the curtains are drawn completely, so can't look through them inside. You don't see people, and you don't necessarily see anything laying out, but you also don't remember there being any like luggage necessarily sitting out in the main room either.
Okay. Can I try to sneak into the room?
I was gonna say, you can also, before you do that, go check the adjacent guard room, because they would have gone with her.
Yeah, let me look at the guard rooms.
Guard rooms?
Yeah, because there would definitely be people off shift.
Okay.
Or at the very least, you could see if it's empty too. It's like, well, maybe they did vacate.
Yeah.
So crawling over to the guards, first guard room that you remember seeing, and the curtains are currently drawn.
They're all drawn.
Yeah, you go over to the second one, curtains are closed again.
Okay, well, I'll just go back to the other room and sneak inside.
Okay. So you go over to the window, back to the main suite, and try to squeeze through the crack in the windowsill. I'd say go ahead and give me, I think it's going to be an acrobatics check to do this.
Would that be like the spider's dex?
Yes. Because you are squeezing through a very tight little crack.
Seventeen.
What is that DC? Well, I don't know where the standard DC went, but yeah, I'll say 17 is enough to get in. So you kind of just barely under the window, kind of in the corner where there's maybe a gap between the two little pieces of wood, and you're able to crawl into the room. You are now inside the Cortomech suite.
I'm going to check the bedroom.
Okay. As you do, crawling across the living room, down the wall, and across the carpet. Or do you want to stay on the ceiling?
I'm staying on the ceiling.
Okay, so up the window and across the ceiling. You get to the doorway of the bedroom, and looking inside, I'll say give me a perception check.
My brain just died.
You walk in and find all the guards dead.
22.
22. Okay.
No witnesses.
Yeah, you immediately see there's no luggage anywhere in this room. No clothes out, no bags, no nothing. And you also hear the sounds of multiple sets of footsteps closing in on the door to this suite. And you can hear voices beginning to raise.
Do one of them sound like Sandy?
They all sound like French dudes. It sounds like a posse of French dudes outside the door of this suite. And they are speaking a language you do not understand and you assume is fantasy French, alien. So what are you doing right now?
So there's nothing in the bedroom?
You don't see anything from the ceiling.
Try to scurry out.
Where are you scurrying?
Out the window.
Bedroom window?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
We do have inspiration that we all are sitting on.
Do I have inspiration?
I thought we all did, because I tried to give mine away last time and nobody was taking it.
I do have inspiration.
You want to use it?
Yeah. I'll use it. Do I take the highest or the lowest?
It's inspiration. Yeah, you take the highest.
8.
8 total.
Oh.
Okay.
Inspiration.
So, in something of a panic, your little spider is just kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking, trying to get under the window. But for whatever reason, the gap here.
Wait, is Pass Without a Trace still up?
Yeah.
It's still up, yeah.
I saw
Okay. At least it's at 18.
It is still. it is just a little too tight for you to really get enough purchase to like push yourself through the window crack. And at the same time, you hear the door to the suite opening, and you hear a whole bunch of feet like into the room, and this kind of babble of alien, and then you hear shh. Who is here?
Me, mother. Very slow. I'm here for
room service.
Hello. Who is in this suite? We heard you come in. And you hear footsteps very carefully across the tile floor of the kitchen, and you're just hiding behind a curtain.
Oh yeah.
Do you not have any spiders left?
She is a spider.
I am a spider.
You hear a spider.
Okay.
I didn't get squished trying to squeeze through. I just couldn't get through.
No, I know. It's just my brain was like, "We heard you come in." I'm like, "How did you hear a spider into a room?"
So alarmed.
That's probably alarm.
And yeah, you hear more alien kind of from the other room, and then there's like a pause. The voice starts up again in common. Little spider, is that you?
Did they open the door to run in?
Have you come back to play? You hear something rustle.
Just stabs the sofa.
So yeah, what are you doing?
I don't fucking know.
You hear those footsteps again, and you see stepping through the door into the bedroom, two of those armored guards in the half plate with the helmets and the big goofy pants, swords drawn, shields out, and they are sort of leading the way for an unfamiliar individual you don't recognize. He is unarmored. His hair is very long and like loose, but it's like slicked hard against the top of his head like a scalp.
Okay.
And then the rest of it is like dry and just kind of like trailing. And his goatee is similarly like slicked back under his chin, like with the same pomade.
You didn't answer your question though.
His hands up like, where are you hiding, little spider? And the guards are saying other stuff in alien, just like, and he's like,
can I discern how many footsteps there are in this room?
Give me another perception check.
Okay. 23.
23. Okay. You can hear two other sets of footsteps out in the living room.
I think the two steps of footsteps that are in this bedroom, and they're like on the other side of the room away from Lauren. She's going to try to get back through the living room to go to the big window.
Go ahead and give me another, what do you call it? Stealth check. Yes.
Did you roll bad?
What'd you roll?
18.
18 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still pretty high. I could give you my inspiration if you want it.
That's up to you.
Sure. I'm the one who asked you to do this.
That's fair.
What?
Is it worse?
Yup.
What is it?
Okay, inspiration. No one give me inspiration, apparently, because inspiration's apparently worthless.
We're not
to
rolling
Lauren right
overnight.
fucking now.
I feel your pain.
It sounds like it's an 18.
It's an 18.
18.
It's an 18.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay. So Lauren, waiting for her moment, begins skittering. The mousetrap theme starts to play in the background, just to start the hijinks. And you're like skittering across the ceiling, over the head of the unarmored man and his two escorts in the living room or in the bedroom, over the head of one of the guards who is currently like checking under the sofa. But the last guard is standing in the doorway, just eyes wide, like just frantically looking around. And as you're like halfway across the ceiling to the window, he points. Spider! Spider! Spider!
No!
Run, Lauren!
Roll initiative.
Oh, I rolled a 4, but I rolled like a d12. So
That's the wrong dice.
Okay, I think my initiative's plus 2. Yeah, 15.
15 total?
Yep.
Sweet.
Oh no.
So the mage comes running out of the bedroom and he sees the guard pointing directly at this tiny spider on the ceiling. And he says, "Ha ha!" And he goes, whoosh, and he casts magic missile and 3 darts go flying out at you.
That's an auto hit.
That is an auto hit.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh.
So
I'm dead. It's fine. You don't even need to roll that many dice on this
I mean, he wants that damage to roll over.
it does roll over, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 force damage.
So what's this?
Yeah, Alard, you immediately and just slam it to the ground.
Cool.
And magic missile is really good against any kind of pests.
Really,
You don't need to get a fly swatter or anything.
What you didn't know is that this guy actually is not like with them initially. This guy's just an exterminator from around town. They hired him for that.
I specialize in killing unwanted guests in houses. It is your turn now. As this guy says, "There she is!" and he points, and the other guards are all like rushing towards you. What are you doing?
I'd love to see what his magic missile does to your bear.
I'd say just eat your way out the window.
Part of me's like, I'm going to kill 4 people in this hotel room.
Part of me wants to, but another part of me's like, no, I shouldn't. She's like, so long, suckers. She's gonna run for the window.
All right.
Dive out.
Are you going to dive out the window?
Oh yeah.
Window back, flipping double birds.
Oh yeah. I'm like,
I mean, you could open it as your free object interaction.
yeah, I'll open it and just fucking leap out with like a bird. That's the way I go down.
Okay, so you're just like scrambling. They're rushing at you, swords out, like trying to get around the furniture. And you're just like rush to the window, throw it open, and just dive. So you're not falling. Are you doing anything else on your turn before you hit the ground?
I am going to turn into a bear. Eat my.
This is going to be the front page of tomorrow's paper.
Imagine the news for this. Civilians tale of a falling bear out of a 6-story window in this residential apartment.
Dogs and cats don't take any fall damage, right?
I was going to say, here's a question. If she turned into a spider, spiders don't, unless it's a big spider.
No. Even if you turn into a regular spider, spiders, cockroaches, and most insects fall under the threshold for maximum
right.
Velocity.
The same goes for squirrels can fall from planes and not take any damage.
Yeah, but also goldfish fall under that threshold probably, and I'm pretty sure we've seen characters die after turning into goldfishes and jumping.
Technically, that was a rules error on the part of Matt Mercer.
What story am I on?
You're like, I want to say it was the 7th floor.
Yeah, she was way at the top.
It was the 6th or 7th floor.
Oh. Okay, Lauren will change her plan a little bit. She's not gonna dive out. She's gonna hop through the window and then kind of go against the wall.
Okay.
Turn into a spider so she can latch onto it and run away.
Okay, so hop off.
Turn into a lizard. Really throw them off and be something.
Yeah, I probably tried to fall as much as I could before I turned into a spider.
Okay.
And then grabbed onto the wall.
I'll say give me an acrobatics check to do this. And yeah, you guys are in a restaurant. You don't see any of
Yeah,
those.
we're
Oblivious.
these bagels are good.
17.
17. Okay. So you probably slide like 10 feet before you sucker to the wall as a spider.
Oh, I was trying to go down farther.
Well, you're trying not to splat on the ground too. So you get down a distance from the window. You're out of melee range and out of line of sight for the time being, and you're now a spider. And I'd say that probably took up like 5, 10 feet of movement maybe to get to the window. So with another 10 feet.
I hope you got far, because you can still get magic missiled and you'll take full
Well,
damage.
I'm on the corner, so I'm gonna go on the corner of the building.
Yeah, so
There's
You're
no
right.
hiding from
Lip,
magic
she
missile,
could-
it'll chase you.
Well,
Okay. Well, he has to be able to see her.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm
if she
gonna-
can get under a lip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to like go around the corner so he can't look out the window and see the spider, and then like try to see if there's some place I can just kind of hide underneath.
All right. I'll say you're not going to be hidden necessarily, but just to see if you can find a good spot out of sight, well, out of line of sight. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh. But can I ask for a dumb side ruling if she does well in her stealth check? Could you roll a D100 to see if they spot a different actual spider?
There it is!
Outside, spiders happen.
So it would be a 30.
Cool. Oh, actually, I need you to make a concentration check for pass without trace. So go ahead and make. Actually, it's gonna be 3 concentration casts because it was 3 missiles.
Okay.
So
See, it's
you have to make
10 though, right?
3 10s. So it's gonna be Constitution and a D20.
Is it just +2?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Okay, so 20 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Still good. So you around the corner, tuck under a lip, out of sight. You see, or you would hear yelling up at the window. There's a lot of commotion overhead. You can feel like a very faint tremor through the stonework on the outside of the building. Just there's so much like running around upstairs. And I will say it will get back to your turn without any additional magic missiles being fired out the window, but you'll hear lots of shouting and alien from upstairs. And you'll hear rummaging and just commotion.
Okay. I'm just dashing away at this point
Cool.
as a spider.
So down the side of the building. And yeah, I think they are not going to see you. So you get back to street level and just book it back for the party.
Yeah, I'm still a spider.
Yeah. Okay. So avoiding people's feet.
Yeah.
I think you probably get away fast enough that you don't necessarily see anything else happening back at the hotel. Like you're booking it, you're getting to the party, and you are crawling down the stairwell into Cafe du Dorf and up along the wall towards the party's booth, where you can see them in the corner enjoying bagels.
Can I
Really
like,
good.
I kind of want to see if they try to follow me in the streets. If they're gonna make like a huge commotion about it. But I want to stay like far enough away where they wouldn't be able to see me, but I could see them. Just like a block away or so.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna like watch the entrance to the hotel,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
So the environment here is it's sort of like the main square of this giant city. This is Liberation Square. There's like it's a huge plaza. There's a fountain. The courthouse is on one side. The chateau is on one side. Like it's got all of these like major institutions of the city sort of surrounding it. Market stalls get set up here every day. Like it's a very busy commercial area.
I'm still a spider, so my plan is to be on like a pretty high on a building, kind of like looking down.
Okay, so you want to climb and look down. I guess how far from the hotel do you want to be?
Probably like a block.
Just a block?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd be like neighboring it then. So watching what's happening then, after a couple of minutes, you will see this band of guards come charging out the front doors in formation. The four of them sort of flanking this central mage figure. And they're just sort of frantically looking around. You can imagine the sound of garbled French being just shouted as they're clearly kind of deliberating, like, what do we do, what do we do, what do we do?
Are they surrounded by confused civilians?
Yeah, there's definitely, like, you can see there's definitely, like, a moment where, like, the crowd around them kind of freezes, like, what the fuck? And then you can see, it's like watching ants, like, in an ant farm, like, the crowd just kind of, like, creates this wide, like, oblong shape around them as they're just, like, going about their business. There's, like, a good, like, 15-foot radius around them that nobody just wants to get close to these guys because they're just weird foreign dudes.
We're going to kill every spider in the city.
The spider hunt begins.
The skies go dark and red, like they can see dark across. No, you will see at this distance the man begin to incant. He's gesturing again. There is a distant flash of arcane light between his hands.
And then he points at you.
Don't say that.
Find person is a thing.
Technically, I don't know my name.
Yes, but he's seen you.
Only 2. Oh, wait, no, because the changeling.
Is find person a thing? And is locate object.
Yeah, no, it's a. I know it's a spell.
Well, I mean, I know locate object, and I know scrying, but
yeah, no, but find person is a thing. It's a higher level spell than locate object, though.
It's called locate creature.
Oh,
there you go.
And yeah, Lauren, you do see the crowd of Frenchies begin to directly towards your building.
Great. Lauren's gonna climb up the building.
You just keep climbing.
Yeah.
You're like frantically looking back over your spider shoulder, and you can see as he's getting closer to them, the hand just like, ah! Like his hand just keeps like following you, like pointing up the side of the building. There she goes! There she goes! I think by the time you get close enough for him to try casting magic missile again, you probably like over the top, and he's like, ah! You took her! He's like pointing at 2 of the guys to like go into the building.
All right. If Lauren turned into a regular person again, could she jump between buildings?
How wide is an alleyway?
Shit, I should have gone to the party.
I forgot about locate creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
I never forget.
I forgot.
I lose so much shit.
Again.
I guess how far is your long jump as a Lauren?
There's a website for this.
It's on her character sheet too.
12 feet.
12 feet? Okay. I would say jumping to a neighboring building looks like it might be a little far. You might be able to make it, but if you were to jump down like to the building behind this one, which is probably like maybe like 2 stories further down, like you could probably make that jump. Because you're like skittering around the edge of the building, like trying to figure out where you're going.
Sending stone as I go jump at the smaller building.
So you transform back into Lauren.
Yeah, I can't say as a spider.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull out my sending stone, going, well, I'm in a fucking pickle. They're chasing me, and I'm on top of a building, and I have short legs, and I barely can jump. Please help.
Can you lead them to like the deserted slums area, and we just knock them off there?
We're gonna kill these guards.
They're very apparently persistent. So
you're throwing yourself to one of the lower buildings?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and give me another give me an athletics check for this.
Oh, okay, I think I actually that makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay. How much is this going to hurt? Is my question.
17 plus 4.
Okay, so call it half damage. Okay, so you are only going to take. That's. God, I'm bad at math. 7 bludgeoning damage as you throw yourself down. It's probably like a good 2.5 maybe stories down. But you clear the gap, hit the roof, and just tumble. Almost knocks the wind out of you, but you keep running. You're going. You're moving. So what are you doing now?
Can I jump from the next building over?
So this is probably like the lowest building on this.
Well, do you have long jump activated? Did you do that?
No, I didn't prep my spells for the morning.
Yeah, I don't think you would have prepped long jump.
I feel like I might have. But like at the same time.
It might.
I might have, but at the same time, I feel like that's also kind of metagaming at this point.
A little bit now.
Yeah. That's how I'm like, fuck. I'll just
prep teleport today.
Yeah.
Oh wow, convenient.
Yeah, I prepped disabled locate creature.
I will say you can definitely say there are like fire escapes leading down into the alleys if you wanted to head down to street level.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think our party's probably setting down our bagels, and we'll go out the door and see if we see anything.
Okay.
How many people set down bagels?
I mean, I'll go. I got the setting, and I'll tell you guys. Lauren's in some shit.
No. I'm asking because I want to know how many bagels I pick up.
There's probably like a quarter of Noel's bagel left.
John will just shove the rest of his bagel in his mouth all at once.
So the quarter of Noel's bagel disappears into Burberry's robe.
Okay.
Sure.
And at the same time, he'll mumble to Noelle through his bagel, tell her to go to the slums.
John says get somewhere less populated. Maybe the slums near someplace we know.
Sure. Let me see here. Freeport has I guess the closest neighborhood to where you're currently at would be like an industrial neighborhood in North Bay, kind of on the west side of town. Because from Liberation Square, like both north and east, it's like all commercial shit. So you'll be heading into the industrial side of North Bay if you want to follow that instruction.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. So, booking it.
Do I hear them following me? Can I check over my shoulder and see me?
Can I?
So, how
can
are you
I
taking
say completely unrelated knowledge that Lauren would have currently? Well, she is a friend of the East Alliance group, so basically the cops. And no one can prove that she walked into a building as a spider.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
A bunch of alien men!
Just throwing it out.
So I think you would.
How am I taking the fire escape?
Yeah, how are you dealing with the fire? Are you just down the stairs, or like what are you doing?
Probably.
Yeah,
I've taken enough fall damage.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll say go ahead and give me a perception check then as you're hoofing it.
18.
Okay. You would faintly pick up the sound of like alien cursing, it sounds like. It sounds like someone is mad outside. You don't hear anything overhead yet in the second since you have tumbled and started running. But you would definitely hear some cursing from street level on the other side of that building, kind of echoing in the alleyway. So rushing down the fire escape, running, kind of booking out the other side and then making for North Bay.
Yeah.
I'll say go ahead and give me a stealth check to try and conceal yourself. Are you going to burn another pass without trace?
There's no point.
No. 5. Oof. Okay. You are just throwing yourself through the crowd, just like elbows and sprinting down the street. Like just no real qualms. It's like whatever, fuck it. If they're following me, whatever.
Sorry, guys.
So
I mean, if he still has locate creature up, having it stealth might not help much anyway. So
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I want to burn that right now.
let me see.
I burned through all my wild shapes, and I really dislike that.
I don't like it. I'm naked.
We'll get a short rest when we can.
nah, you'll get to the party and Noah will be like, nah, it's fine. Cast polymorph. Turns you into a bear.
Not good.
So you are running, and the party, I assume, is heading in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, we step out of the restaurant, and do we hear any like in the distance? Like,
I'll say, give me a perception check. She skipped.
Oh, god damn it! 6.
6. Busy day in Freeport.
16?
It's a busy day in Freeport.
Well, technically that was an 8. I can't roll a 6. All right. Well, we're gonna head the direction that John specified.
All right. Cool. So you guys just start hustling towards North Bay, and
Can I check while I'm running to see if they're following me?
yeah, give me another roll.
That'll be a 21.
21. Okay. I think you probably book it a good like 10 minutes, just running, right, and checking back over your shoulder. Does not look like they're following. At this point, I'd say you are several blocks from Liberation Square, from Le Chateau, and just looking through the crowds, you don't see any of their goofy helmets and the feathers bouncing around. You don't hear any yelling in their language. The crowds change significantly. It's a lot more working class, and you are very out of place here. These guys in like coveralls and like flat caps are kind of walking by you like, hey, hello, carrying their lunch boxes or whatever. A lot of working dudes. You're doing a lot of stairs, but none from any French guards that you can see. For the party, I do not think Aloran is going to be difficult to find if she is standing on a street in North Bay. And for what it's worth, you guys also do not see any alien guards on your walk there.
Okay.
So, reconvening.
Sorry, that didn't go as well. Lauren, what happened?
They instantly knew that I went into their apartment thing, and then they magic missiled me. Then I had to jump out of
Wait,
the
you've seen a magic missile? What did it look like?
Terrible. It hit me 3 times.
No, that's what it does, not what it looks like. Those are very different things.
Whatever a magic missile was.
Unhelpful Burberry. God damn.
But yeah. And
Look, it's not a spell that's on my spell list. It's interesting.
And then they started chasing me, and then I started running. And I think I lost them, surprisingly.
So, pretty safe to say that Amelia's not in that room anymore.
No, they're gone. They did.
Yeah. Do you want to come get a bagel then?
Sure.
Okay.
I like bagels.
They're pretty good.
Go back to the same restaurant.
We'll go to a different bagel place.
Well, if they try to do anything now, it's like, what are you doing? Get your hands off me! Help! Help!
Exactly. Oh, I see. Yeah, we could just go back to the same place.
Touch!
I would love to do that, actually. Just as a fuck you. Oh, monsieurs. Are you looking for somebody?
So, yeah, you guys go find another bagel place.
We'll go back to the same one if Lauren wants to have a chance of talking to someone.
Okay, yeah. You go back to Cafe du Door.
Yeah.
Do I see the front?
Roll perception.
Could we also be watching out for them?
12.
12.
God damn it. 12.
21.
It's a busy day in Freeport.
21, didn't see
21?
it?
Oh, 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
It is a
opposite of
busy day in
12.
Freeport.
It got confused.
But yeah, Burberry, you're fairly confident. You don't see or hear any sounds of pursuit as you guys make your way back to the cafe.
Okay. I think we'll probably consider that a short rest while we munch on bagels.
Yep.
Okay.
That was
Burberry,
a good
could I have
workout.
the last quarter of bagel?
I would, and you hear a whisper in your ear. What bagel?
Burberry.
I can buy you a new one.
Yeah, sure.
If it bothers you, you could take a quarter out of it, and the other 3 quarters will also disappear.
I mean, I was still hungry. I could go for another one.
Oh, I would recommend the one with 7 and chives.
That sounds good. Sure. It's like
Because
lunchtime.
apparently I like fish, and it's now canon.
John wants waffles.
God damn it.
In the morning.
Have those been invented yet, DM?
Yes, there are waffles.
All right.
They're Waffle House.
Freaking waffles.
The meme spreads.
So you guys are vibing at Cafe du Door. If you got bagels, you got waffles. Taking a short rest.
Give me steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs. You want that fried?
Of course.
Obviously. Sure. Okay. Short rest continues and completes uninterrupted.
Do I see any very disgruntled-looking magic casters?
Yeah, do we see them? Nope, we don't see anybody.
No sign of them.
This is an underground place, I think. Well, shit. We've already hit a wall.
Bum bum.
Perhaps we should take a break to think about our options.
Isn't that what we're doing?
What a novel idea. All right. Let's take our break then, and we can be back at 9:30.
All right. Go on break. Alright, cheers back.
Cool. So, you guys have bagels and are not attacked by any French guards. Short rest complete. It is probably like 1 in the afternoon. What are you doing?
I feel like Aloran should probably go tell Adler that he might get a letter from the train station sent to his room to let her know if they do get one.
That's true. That's something to do at least. I'm a little stumped. We don't have much information. And aside from just waltzing around Freeport looking for them.
Yeah, I feel like our next best option would be to wait until maybe we hear back from the guy, or go to the expo, find them at the expo, and then follow them from there. Because we did get invited to the expo, so.
That's true, but that's not for weeks.
Yeah, I just don't know how else we're really gonna find them.
Well, fair. Yeah, I mean, for now, we have nothing super actionable to do. So let's I guess head back to the Presidium. And Lauren can go talk to that hotel real quick.
Yeah, you can go let Adlar know. I think he's probably not super up on what's been going on, but I think he's heard a little bit.
I think with Noelle stuff, like, she's not really going to say much unless, like, Noelle wants to talk about it.
Right.
Her business, she doesn't give a fuck talking about it, but other people's, that's up to them if they want to.
Yeah. I mean, I know Adlar knows about the Lush Rock thing, so he'll probably definitely check in like, hey, so anything on that front? No? Good. Okay. So we on for tonight?
I think I'd look at the party like, am I good?
If I come up with something clever, I'll let you know, but I don't think we have any immediate plans.
Why tonight then, Adler? Why not now?
I mean, it's 1 in the afternoon. That was pretty good. Like, why now?
Well, what do you want to do? We can go do that. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I mean, he was planning to go hit up some of the shops in the freeholds just because they've got some interesting stuff.
Oh, you were going to go to shops. I actually need to go to a bakery.
But
Mainly to buy more bagels.
bagels. Sure. Yeah, I'm.
What are you going to buy, Adler?
Well, found a neighborhood up in the freeholds, Little Sarah Shores, like elvish but not feral. I was curious.
Okay.
So, you know.
Where's Dodo at? Where's Dodo at?
Oh. I don't know.
Who?
Okay.
I don't know. I'll be honest. He typically wakes up before I do, and I don't really see him until the afternoon these days. Don't know.
Okay. Well,
He's fine.
hopefully so.
So yeah, he's going to freeholds.
Okay, yeah. Or I'll just accompany him
Sure.
and Burberry. Burberry wants to join us to the bakery.
Okay.
Bagels!
Let's go to another sex shop, Burberry. If we find one.
If we are going to another sex shop, I'll need 5 minutes.
Burberry. Do you want to?
You just hear a message or whisper in your head.
Do you have any idea how long it's been?
I know. And now we can fuck with Adlar too, man. We have an itty dick.
Do you want to get a friendship fist?
Oh my god. More than anything.
More than anything.
Oh god. All right. Well, I know what you guys are doing. What's the rest of the party do?
Probably not that.
Noted. Please give me something.
Please don't make me have to roleplay this again.
John's gonna see if he can find a fist fight club or something.
He's gonna get into a fist fight?
He's gonna try to find like a fight club or something.
Oh shit!
I had a.
Okay.
Okay. If we're gonna do that, I had a fun idea. It'd be interesting to have John. I was originally gonna think with Jade, but actually this works too. I was gonna say it'd be cool to have John spar with Rainer and Secundo.
John's just bored. He's looking for something to do.
I mean, there's your fight people. They need training.
It'd be interesting to know how strong they are.
Sure. Are we fist fighting or weapon fighting?
I mean, you can pitch whatever you want if you're wanting to ask him.
Rainer, Secundo, we're trying to kill time today, and John wants to punch something. Do you want to try sparring with him?
Sorry.
As a team or like one-on-one?
Yeah, look at John.
2-on-1? Question mark.
The only way to make it fair.
John doesn't care either way.
Okay. Let me find their character sheets. They are not in my spreadsheet, so that means they're in my documents. Campaign images. No. NPCs. Where are we at? Oh, stat blocks. Okay. Okay. Got that. So. Yeah, here, I guess the real question, are we doing this with fists or are we doing this with like practice weapons? Because they've got a decent amount, and they will say, like, we generally, spar, armored swords. So.
It's up to them. If they want to go fists or weapons, it's entirely up to them. John's up for either.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go swords.
Okay, John will have a sword and a shield.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they've got plenty of practice weapons to use whatever kind of weapon you want to use. So for sparring, then go ahead and give me an initiative roll, my guy.
Okay. Let me make sure I didn't include my book yet.
I just have a very random question. Is Gerald overseeing this, or
Yeah, I mean, he generally is kind of in and out of their practice.
Okay.
A non-natural 20 for initiative.
Okay. What is your dex?
Oh, wow.
+2. If I had my gloves, it would be so much better.
Yeah. Okay. What is your dex score?
15.
Oh my god. Okay. Roll again. You tied. You tied with Secundo.
Do we just go with roll or with initiative?
Just a d20 roll.
16.
Okay. Yeah, you're going first. All right. So Rainer and Secundo are in front of you. Secundo has a great sword in hand, and Rainer has a sword and shield.
I'm just wondering if I should rage at the start or if I should wait.
Rage?
Rage.
Give him hell.
Also, can I have Jade join, or is she even here? Not to join the fight, join to watch.
She is not at the Presidium right now.
Okay, well, I'll be watching the fight then.
Okay.
All right. Well, John's gonna rage,
Okay.
and then he's gonna go for who's got the great sword? You said.
Secundo.
He's gonna go for Secundo.
Smaller guy. Yeah.
The smaller one has the great sword.
Yeah.
I love that. Anyways, please continue.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you
go
sure
ahead.
it just doesn't look like a great sword because it's
Roll.
It's great
So
to have.
what's the damage on a practice weapon?
It's going to be the same kind of damage. It's just non-lethal.
Okay, so it's a D8.
Yep.
Okay, and then plus I have my dueling damage bonus and my rage damage bonus.
Okay.
So that's a plus my proficiency, and then plus those damages.
Strength plus proficiency for the attack, and then just strength plus the dueling and
Wait. Oh, okay.
Rage damage for damage.
And the dueling.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'd be +7 for the attack bonus and +7 for the damage. Okay. So that's 24 to hit,
24 hits.
and damage is 1d8 plus 7. Wow, that was a wow. Okay. That's 14 damage for the first hit.
14 on the first hit.
Yeah. And then I get extra attack, right?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to, because I just added in my warrior level, right? So I'm
Fighter?
trying to figure out my fighter level. So do I get the extra attack from that, or reckless, or action surge or something? I forget.
You only got one level of fighter, right?
Yeah.
So you got second wind, but you don't have action surge yet.
Okay. The second wind is healing.
That's a bonus action.
So I'm trying to figure out what I do have access to and don't have access to, because this is literally the first fight since we updated. Okay, so then I'll just use my extra attack and attack again. This time I'll attack the other person.
Okay.
Right there, or whatever his face is. Natural 20.
Ooh, that's rough.
Bye, Runner.
Why do I crit in a freaking...
Ouch.
I don't crit in real freaking battles, but goddamn mock.
That's when it happens.
Yeah.
Your good rolls are used during downtime.
Okay, so that means I roll 2d8 plus 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 19 damage.
19 damage. Okay. 19.
That'll be it for John this round.
All right. That'll take us to Secundo. So you just fucking bam, bam, just two big swings. And I don't think either of them were fully ready for how ferocious that was about to be. So they go like sliding backwards from those hits. Secundo, with a higher initiative, first to recover. He is going to take a deep breath and just charge at you, sword low, and come up with like a big heavy swing. So he is going to use a fighting spirit, and I don't think he's got other stuff. He does have greater than fighting. Okay, so advantage on these. Okay, does a 17 hit?
Nope.
Damn. Okay. Second attack. Okay. Does an 18 hit?
Nope.
How does an 18 not hit you?
Because I have a 19 AC.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we all have stupid AC right now.
Okay.
Just imagine what it's about to go up once I get my gloves.
Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna action surge on that then, and we're gonna try again. Okay, that's hitting. That's a 19 plus his stuff, and a 17 plus his stuff. Those are hitting. Actually, wait. That would have been the one roll. So second roll. Sorry. 18 and 9. Okay, so they will both hit. So that's going to be 3d6. Or no, 4d6, excuse me. So you are going to take a total of 12, 9, 21 plus 6. So 27 slashing damage from Secundo. And that'll be half.
So half that.
Yep.
So that would be 14?
13. All right. So that is Secundo's turn. Rainer is. Ooh. Rainer is going to stand up a little shaky from that hit. He's going to wipe the blood from his face. And he's like, okay, we got to try on this one. And you will see his eyes flash and this sort of dark aura begin to sort of grow from around his body. And a pair of spectral skeletal wings will sprout out of his back. And I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
How cool.
Oh, I wish I was there to study it.
You could be here. Oh, wait, you're going shopping.
I am.
Sex toys.
Another cake shop, guys.
Yep, it's a different kind of cake shop.
Okay.
If that is a 19.
Jesus. All right. Well, you are unfazed by this display, but Rainer is going to pound his chest, take a deep breath, and charge like Secundo. And he's going to use Second Wind as his bonus action and recovers hit points. And that's going to be a big fat number. Cool. And it'll be back to you.
It's my turn again?
It is your turn, yes.
Okay. I'll go for Secundo first again.
All right.
And that's a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
I literally just rolled the exact same for Secundo's last round, so 14 damage again.
14?
Did I roll a 24 to hit last time too?
I think so.
So weird. Okay, and then I'll hit Rainer again.
All right.
I don't think this one's gonna hit though. That's a 11 to hit.
That will not hit. Rainer parries the blow with his shield. And he looks like he feels like he has an opening. Do you have any other actions or bonus actions on your turn?
Don't think so.
Alrighty. So that will take us to Secundo, who is going to use another fighting spirit. Deep breath and 2 big swings. That's an 18 plus stuff and a miss. So you're going to take another. Oh, God, that's bad. Oh, wait, he can reroll these. Yeah, there you go. That's slightly better. Okay, that's going to be 12 slashing damage from Secundo, so down to 6. And then Rainer is going to take his turn. 2 attacks. Oh, that's a nat 1. Are you serious? God damn it. Poor guy.
Does he have inspiration?
He thought he had an opening, and John just effortlessly shielded in the way. He's like, God damn it. Okay, that is a 15 plus 7, so 22. So he's going to deal... what is it? Or no, D8. God. So 5 slashing and 5 necrotic damage as this black aura that's spread across his body kind of bites into the wound. So it'll be 2 slashing and 5 necrotic total.
So 7.
Yep. Yeah, I think these guys are getting they are throwing everything they have at you, and you are just kind of tanking these hits. And you definitely see them kind of exchanging glance like, oh, shit.
Now it's his turn again.
I'll just keep going the same way I have been. Secundo first, then Rated.
Okay.
That is a 15 to hit.
15 will miss.
Yeah, okay. Second swing, I'll go for Raynard. Ooh, 19 plus 7. 26 to hit.
26. Yeah, that's
and that is ball damage.
12?
Yep.
All right. All right. They're both looking pretty comparable. They're breathing hard, and they've taken some heavy hits. Secundo is going to probably do what he's been doing. Another deep breath, another fighting spirit, and 2 big swings. That's going to be... That's a 19. Okay. And that's definitely hitting. That's a 16 plus stuff. So he's going to deal 4d6 and strength. And he can re-roll the 2s. Like nothing. So 13 plus some 19 total. So you will take 9 slashing damage from Secundo.
Is that half already?
Yeah. Rainer, I think, is very frustratedly going to back up. Or no, he's not going to back up. He is going to kind of pivot around you and just kind of like hands just kind of pressed forward like into your side. You will feel a lot of heat very, very suddenly appearing, and a bright orange glow start to emanate from his fingertips. And I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's it.
14.
14 will succeed. You will very deftly dodge as a blast of fire shoots out about 15 feet from Rainer's hands. So you're going to take 12 fire damage halved thanks to the success of 6 fire damage total.
So I was going to be like, okay, so we're using the abilities now, huh?
What do you think we've been doing?
Just gonna poof, and reappear right behind Rainer in a blast of water.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I'm making sure. What does that take out?
I don't think it takes up anything. I think it just means that you make 1 attack this turn.
Which means I can't use my extra attack?
Yeah.
Okay, that was what I was trying to double check. Yeah, as my action. Okay, so yeah. And then I'm going to take a swing at Raynard.
All right.
He's the one that tried to do that to me, right?
Yep.
Okay. Natural 20. Why am I cleaning the freaking mouth battle?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Where are these crits in normal fights?
Because that's where they'd be useful.
Yeah, that'd be too easy.
Gotta work for it.
Okay, so it's 2d8 plus 7.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 4 and an 8 plus 7, so it's 12 plus 7. That's 19 damage.
19 to Rainer.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah, that's another big hit across like the back of the head. He like stumbles forward. He's not doing great. He's looking a little dizzy, and he doesn't look. He's got another hit like that in him. Secundo, I think, is kind of weighing his options right now because he's panting and he's struggling and he is not connecting like he wants to be with these hits. So I think what he's going to try to do, he takes another running slash at you and then feints like down to the side and does like a spinning like ankle sweep. And it looks like he's trying to trip you. So I'm going to need either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Athletics. That's 19.
Really? Oh, shit. Okay. That's going to be a 20
plus 7.
21. He got a 17 plus 4. So he sweeps under your legs, and you not fully expecting it, you flip and land on your back, and he comes down on you with his second attack in a real heavy overhand swing. And that is going to be an 18, which misses. Oh, wait, no, it's with advantage. That's better. That hits. That's a 19 plus stuff. Cool. So you take 13, so half down to 6 damage. Raider sees the opening, and he's going to be like, oh, shit, and he's going to rush. He's like, just swinging as hard as he can. With advantage, that's going to hit. And the second attack is going to hit. Cool. Rainer actually gets some hits through. And you are going to take... where's my D8s? Where's my D8s? No. Don't open shit. I want my D8s. There we go. That's going to be 9 plus 6, so 15 plus the extra. Oh, no, it's once. So that's going to be 8 slashing damage and 5 necrotic.
5 damage.
5 necrotic, yeah. So it's your turn again. Presumably you can stand up.
So question. So
Yeah.
I actually have, if this doesn't work, I have another question. So if I was to do the ghost water dive from the ground,
Okay.
could I materialize standing up? Because it says I can attack. When I do
You can attack while you're prone. There's 30 feet away.
It just says I materialize somewhere else. It doesn't say that I'm in the same position.
Yeah, I would assume you would still need to stand up.
Okay. Instead of that, is it possible for me to do like a little spin and kick all of them in the legs?
Yeah, if you want to use your attacks to try and trip them, go ahead and give me an athletics check for the first one.
Okay. So that's 26.
Yeah, he's not going to make this. Yeah, nah. Okay, so who was that at? Secundo or Ranger?
Secundo, because he's the one who tripped me.
Yeah, Secundo hits the ground hard, like, oh shit. So you stand up, presumably, and are you wanting to trip the other guy, or do you want to attack Secundo?
I'm going to stand up, and then I'll use my extra attack to attack Raynard.
Oh, okay.
Because he's almost out.
True. All right. Go ahead and roll to hit.
26 to hit.
And it hits.
And it's 13 damage.
He is still standing.
Son of a bitch.
You clock him like square between the eyes. Like he stays on his feet, but you can tell he's like reeling, and struggling to stay up. So that's going to take us to Secundo, who is going to stand up, and he's going to use his second win because he hasn't done that yet. Oh, no, come back, dice. Oh, that's terrible. So he gains a little bit of health back. And then he'll use his attacks to attack you. It's going to be a miss and a hit. You're going to take 13 slashing, reduced to 6. Raynor will follow suit. Oh my god, Raynor, dude. That's 2 misses. Okay. They're trying, but they are clearly outmatched. Gerald,
John's going to use his second.
Arms crossed, like, damn.
John's going to use his second win.
Okay.
1d10 plus your fighter level.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 9 health back. And then he's going to attack Raynor again. He knows Raynor's on his last legs.
Yep.
That's a 24 to hit.
24. Yeah, that's going to knock his ass out.
Okay.
One big swing, like you like swing into the stuff, and like Raynor just doubles over, like, and just collapses.
John's going to turn to Stundo with his extra attack.
Bye-bye.
No.
That's a 20 to hit.
20 on Secundo?
Yeah. That is... it's like 10 damage.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. Secundo seems to be holding up a little bit better than Raynor. He's very battered and bruised, but he's still on his feet. And he just kind of looks at you, John. He's like, I don't think I'm winning this one.
It's been a good fight.
It's about to be. And he'll make 2 more attacks. Okay. I think those will both hit. That's a 19 and a 20. And that's good damage. That's bad. So that's going to be 7, 12, 17 plus 6, 23 slashing. So reduced down to 11. He's getting hits in, but you are just tanking everything he's got. And he's just like, how are you still doing this?
That's 24 to hit.
Yeah.
13 damage.
All right, 13. Still standing.
I don't know if this is going to hit. This is 16 to hit.
That will not hit.
Damn it.
Deftly dodges to the side
Yes.
and swings twice more.
No, who are you cheering for right now?
Hey. 16, 17 plus stuff hits.
I'm not there. It's
everyone
good.
likes
He
an
needs all the help
underdog.
he can get.
I know, right? Go, Secundo,
16
go.
plus 6, 22. So you'll take 11 slashing from Secundo.
Does that already have?
Yep.
Okay.
It was
I
20.
wasn't sure if they just rolled shit.
Now, he can deal damage.
Yeah,
He
he's got
just
some good damage output.
can't get through the fucking.
Okay, this one's gonna hit. So, 25 to hit.
Yeah, you hit.
Okay, that's 14 damage.
Okay, that definitely shakes him. You get the sense it's just like one more hit and he's down.
Well, I assume 21.
Yep.
Okay.
How does it go down?
He's gonna do a cheeky little swing, thinking making him look like he's gonna trip him again,
Mm-hmm.
and instead he's gonna like do a little back twirl of the weapon in his hand. So like he's swinging it, he stops, he back twirls it, and it just pommels him right in the head.
Yes, pop on
And
the head.
Sakuna just face plants into the dirt. At which point Joe's like, "All right, let's game."
You guys nearly had me there too.
How much? Where were you at?
22 hit points.
22. Jesus! After all of that,
I started out at 97, and then used my
just
second win.
slowly chipping away, and you're just like cleaving them every time you hit.
Yeah, functionally, they got him down to 13 without the second win.
Yeah. Gerald will step in and he'll place a hand on both of them. You'll see a faint light under his palms. They kind of, oh God, that hurts. Gerald will look up to you, John, and be like, "You ever consider taking the oath?"
I'm more in it for the money, honestly.
Not the job for you then.
Good, John.
Good show.
Good job, John.
That was a good 30
John's
seconds.
just gonna lay down in the grass and be like, oh, that felt good.
Yeah, Secundo and Rainer have not stood up. They are both still laying on the ground. Like,
Hope you feel better.
that hurts a lot. Yeah, good fight, buddy. Ugh.
All my party members are just blah 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 all the time. I don't get to fight.
You guys not gonna kill that lady?
Noelle doesn't want to.
Rainer, you could hear Rainer start to boo, and then Sakuna like slaps him on the shoulder.
I wish I was there for
That's fair.
that.
Well, join the
That's
watch.
okay. You've probably already heard the exact same thing from Burr and Barry.
Yeah.
Smack. Lauren gets smacked by Barry. Probably not her.
Oh no, I meant Burr was the one that booed and Barry was the one that smacked Burr.
So,
got it.
While you guys are recuperating post-sparring match, what monstrosity has Aloran and Burberry procured from their sexcapade?
Wait, I have a question. Would Adler join us into the sexcapade?
I don't think he would want to, but I don't think he has a choice.
Perfect. Oh, Lauren's going to do just torture that man in there. Be like, hey, look at this guy.
Okay, not so close, please. Please stop trying to put that in my mouth. Please, no.
I feel like at one
We have
point
not paid for that.
You
you would
gotta,
try to.
you gotta take like a little dildo and just like start smacking him upside the head.
Oh, I am. No, I was literally about to say at one point, if he like turned around for an instant, she'd get a really floppy dildo, and just like as soon as he turned around, just smack him in the face.
The
with it.
little gnome proprietor is like, please stop fighting with the merchandise, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see how well the smack was for later.
You gotta recommend a product to the proprietor. It's a little pencil or pen topped with a little floppy dildo.
We have those.
We do. Oh.
He's got like a little cubby by the front register where it's like little dick erasers, so you put them in your pencils. Oh,
I was gonna buy 3.
cool.
She's gonna. Oh, and they're not even for her. That's the funny part.
They're terrible erasers. They just bend. They don't actually rub anything.
They rub something. It's just not
Does
not charcoal.
Gift wrap?
Does he have gift wrap?
Yeah, we have gift bags.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
She's gonna put them in little gift bags.
You're just gonna get a random message every once in a while that goes, "Should I be concerned?" Meanwhile, Bird's just like, "Oh, Lauren, I think this one matches your eyes."
Oh, she put it next to her face. Doesn't match my eyes, Adler.
He's just wide-eyed, like, it's close, yeah. Okay.
Oh, hey, Adler, that one matches your face.
Does it? And she'll
It's
grab
like
it
bright,
like,
it's bright pink.
it does. Perfect flush color.
Okay, well, when you two are done, I will be outside.
Oh, no. You're not going. She grabs like the ear. Oh,
No, I feel like he starts to like walk off, and Bird just goes,
You are welcome to walk out, but I have a feeling that if you do, you're going to get a present later.
I feel like I'm getting a present regardless, but...
I meant what you can't return to pretend never happened.
The little dick eraser was for you, Adler? That's funny.
I've seen what you've been playing with over there. Yeah, so you guys could
Lauren's gonna buy a massive dildo the one that she left in the Pirate Bay. She's buying a replacement.
You're never gonna find a dildo as big as the one as you saw in Dagger.
Damn.
But there are some biggies in here.
All right.
That thing was
Whoever
like a fucking...
finds that thing is gonna be so confused.
You know what's really funny? I bet Lost Sharog found it.
You're gonna think it was part of Renzal's hoard. Just surrounded by gold and then this fucking 3-foot dildo.
Oh, Lauren, look, they have the latest copy of Playfin.
I suppose that would make sense.
Is there at least like a 2-footer?
It's like a foot and a half.
Nah, Lauren will find a different sex toy. Sex store to buy it. She will find this 3-footer.
We're still gonna be here for weeks. You could commission a custom one.
Sure. So, you guys are fucking around in Sextopia, and Rainer and Secunda were nursing their wounds. Is there anything else that's going to happen today from the party?
I actually would like to buy a bunch of bagels and cookies and desserts and pretty much anything that I can get my mouth on. Sex toys excluded, please.
Sure. Yeah, there's bakeries all over Little Sarah Shore, and I think the best one is probably like you have to like shoot your way through like a crowd of pigeons that are like fucking just swarming the front door because there's like crumbs and stuff all over the grounds on the street here. And as soon as you pass inside the little bell jingles, you see them all back into place outside the window, just pecking away. And like these guys have some real good pastries, like lots of really tasty like cream puffs and like lots of tea flavorings in the cakes and whatnot. So it's all very, very, very tasty. Most of it's like entirely vegetarian. Lots of good stuff. So head outside, head on your way. We'll say that's probably like gold maybe for a crap load of pastries.
I'll get one for Lauren and Adlar as an apology.
2 silver each.
2 silver. You need to apologize to Adler.
You can whisper this is yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Like, here you go, Adler.
Clever. No. Just like swallows it all at once. Just,
Lauren would be impressed. Like,
full group just sprays cream.
Oh, what a shame that it was Bavarian.
Oh, So, pastries acquired. Anything else before you guys?
I have a
take
small thing of moving to the end of the day.
Okay.
No one's gonna cast setting on Martin.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. So I guess I'll probably be at the Presidium and just kind of in my room. I'll say.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Lauren.
It's a cross chatter.
Just looking across chatter.
Oh.
I'm not even going to play that. I'm just going to close the window and pretend it doesn't exist. That sounds like a good plan for me.
Please continue, Noel.
It involves Carl Weezer.
I know.
Oh, I know.
That's so fucking dumb.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so messaging Barton. Back on track.
Yeah, it gives me a second to think anyway. I would say... hey, Martin, it's Noel. Just think your response. You have 25 words. I did actually want to know how you were doing.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a pause, and I think you get like almost like a tuning sound. Like he's like. Hello? Hey. Well enough. Glad to see you are doing well, Noel. It was good to see you. Sorry things got so heated.
Probably just leave it there.
I think his final few words in that message are just like, so how exactly does this work? Do I just... And then it cuts off.
Other thing I want to do, long shot of long shots.
Okay.
But so bear with me. But I haven't gotten to use this yet, so I want you to do it anyway. Noelle's going to go out to the courtyard of the Presidium, and she's going to cast Polymorph on herself and turn into a giant owl.
Ooh.
And I'm going to be a very, dark blue feathers like the night sky, and just kind of do, just a low pass over Aelia very quietly, very stealthily, and just...
Over Freeport?
Or, yeah, over Freeport. I'm going to fly back to Aelia later, guys. No, I'm going to fly over Freeport, low, stealthy pass, a dark blue, quiet owl over the night sky, and just look, see if I see any sign of Amelia, Martin, or Lorelei/Sandy.
All right. I mean, you've got an hour.
Yeah, I'd say this would be
off.
This would be maybe around a dinner time, I guess. That's when I'd do this. But no. I want it to be dark out. What time does it get dark this time of year?
It's nearing the solstice, so it's getting dark pretty early. Probably what's the latitude here? You guys are at 30 south. It's probably like 7 o'clock, roughly,
Okay.
sunset.
So yeah, I think I would have done that message to Martin maybe a little after dinner, and then this maybe like an hour later at like 7:30 or whatever.
Okay.
I'll just do a hour-long swoop over Freeport and just keep my eyes peeled.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check then.
Okay. It does say the owl has advantage on perception for sight and hearing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I gotta pull up the owl stat block real quick for the bonus. Perception
I will say,
+5.
if you are planning to be like looking with dark vision, you're going to be what's the word? You're going to be flying low to take advantage of that, right?
Owl has dark vision out to 120 feet.
So 120 feet from the ground.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to see through darkness. I will say most of the streets themselves are lit.
I was going to say, if there's street lamps, that would help a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, there are street lamps on most of the main streets. I will say the freeholds in like the northeast quarter of the city tend to be a little darker. There's not quite as much light.
So we'll say I take a little bit of a higher route over the street lamped areas to kind of stay out of that light, and then I'd swoop a little lower in the darker parts of the town.
Okay. All right, so yeah, go ahead. Give me perception.
16?
16. Okay. Over the course of this hour-long flight, you don't see anything that jumps out at you as immediately indicating Amelia or Martin or Sandy or any of their personal guard out on the streets at this hour. Freeport remains a bustling place. You see the streets below you still churning with people. The residential neighborhoods are a little quieter, but many of the commercial streets are just as busy as they were during the day. Some of them even busier, especially along Angler's Landing, which has quite a popular nightlife scene going on there. A couple things you do notice over the course of this flight. For it being pretty late, well, not late, but it's for it being pretty dark. You do notice over the course of your flight, there's a decent number of birds awake and flitting about above and below you through the air as you fly. Many of them do give you a fairly wide berth, although a handful of other owls over the course of this, like maybe once every like 10 minutes, will sort of like fly in close to take a look at you and then just kind of silently veer off. But you'll also see like ravens, pigeons, seagulls. Like there's a lot of activity here, more than you would have expected, especially this hour. And I think something else that you would see, completely unrelated to any of that or any of your current troubles, there looks to be a pretty large gathering in a fairly familiar part of town to you. This is sort of in one of the border neighborhoods between downtown and the freehold neighborhoods. It's an area known as Hob Hill. And as you fly down, you can see that there's a lot of people in the streets around here. And flying lower, you kind of recognize the block as being not too terribly far from the intersection where you guys took out Willem. And getting close enough to look and get detail, you would be able to see that there is a pretty sizable like street fight that has broken out in front of what looks like a smokehouse in the neighborhood. And there's a lot of human folk down there and a lot of hobgoblins. And the humans seem to be just out for blood. Hobgoblins are mostly running. It is a messy, violent scene down there. And there's small fires being lit in places, windows being broken.
Could I swoop down low enough to hear? I assume if it's a big cacophony, there's yelling and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's part of what would have drawn you to it. I mean, it's probably like a few hundred people down here out in the streets.
And I'll given that it's crazy going on, I'm not going to be so worried about someone spotting me. So I'll swoop pretty low and just listen for 15 seconds or whatever, and just see if I can pick up any vibe of like what they're angry about.
Okay, I'll say give me another perception check. Perception.
This one is also advantage because it's hearing. Hey, there we go. 15 plus 5 is 20.
Okay. With a 20. Really racially charged. Not cool really listening in on this.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable, like right off the bat. And you would see in a handful of places that there are sort of some like protest signs that are either still being hoisted or for the most part have been like kind of discarded and thrown down in favor of this very direct violent approach. A lot of them bearing the insignia of this eye with a handful of teardrops underneath it.
It's because we didn't go to tea with them.
Yeah, and amidst all of the fighting and yelling and screaming, like you pick up a lot of there's a lot of chanting intermixed in all of this. A lot of not in our town, not in our town. Get that shit off our streets. It's a lot of stuff in that vein.
Right.
And as you sort of watch this scene unfolding, you can definitely see, like, from down one of the streets, there is a contingency of what looks to be like sheriff's office deputies that are sort of arriving at the scene and sort of trying to get in the middle of this and break it up and shut things down. Like it's just a mess, and it doesn't just look like there's any sign of it's like slowing down anytime soon.
And there's hundreds of people doing this, you said?
Yeah, there's a few hundred. They're primarily like surrounding one main smokehouse, but they've sort of like filtered into like the alleyways around it and sort of up and down the block from it.
Okay. Well, I can't stop hundreds of people from protesting, so I'm going to go back to the Presidium still.
Sure.
I guess when I turn back in, I'll land in the courtyard and turn back to Noelle. Is there anyone out here, or do I need to go inside to find someone?
If anybody's out, it'd probably be Jade, honestly. I think she probably would have made her way back, and hearing that you had left for a moment probably would have stayed up to wait for you.
Oh.
So, you're back.
Hey, it's good to see you. How was your day?
Productive. It sounds like the professor is still planning their trip, so I signed up.
Cool. When is that?
Should be probably like 20th of next month. So still a bit of time, but
Little ways.
little bit. Hopefully it's better than last job.
I need to go ask some questions real quick if you want to come with me. I'm gonna go inside, find Aaron, Gerald, Gideon, Rainer, Kuno, anyone.
All right. From
Real quick, because while she was doing that, Lauren was doing something.
Oh.
Okay.
She was giving a little wrapped gift to both Gideon and Gerald.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
She is trying to get kicked out.
I know.
I wasn't a
Noel,
believer at the start of the session, but
you are looking for someone of authority, and you find that Aloran has beaten you to the punch and is currently in the process of handing Gideon and Gerald a gift.
oh, that was thoughtful of her.
Gerald opens his and just like goes white in the face. And he just looks at her, looks at the bag Gideon's holding. Gideon is just like holding it and just kind of like just feeling the wrap. And he just looks at you like,
it's an eraser, and it's kind of fun to mess with.
thank you, Lauren. He will just tuck it into a pocket in his cloak and, without another word, just turn away and go back to his study.
Oh, thank God she'd go, wait, you're not going to open it?
Gerald is just like, why?
What?
Why are you so bent on antagonizing him?
Because he needs to lose, man. He has a lot of pent-up frustration.
This is not the way to
The
do
man
it.
insists on breakfast at 6 a.m. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. He needs to, like, calm the fuck down.
You know what really helps with pent-up aggression? Adding more aggression.
Noel, hey.
It was a gift. It was a gift.
Yeah,
Swear to God.
boy, I'm gonna bring this conversation down. Gerald? Is this Gerald?
Yep.
You've been in Freeport while we've been away. Has there always been these protests going on since we left? I saw one when I was doing a flyover. There was like 100 people protesting. They were yelling very racist things about hobgoblins. You familiar with this stuff that's going on?
Yeah, that sounds like the eyes of tear.
They're the people we didn't go to tea with.
That was probably a good call.
They knew they were assholes. I feel bad for having written such a polite letter to them.
It's a good read. No, I mean, they're not big fans of us either. To be fair, they're probably the biggest vigilance committee in town. Can't say I'm much of a fan of theirs either.
What's
Said
the
they were-
context?
I assume this is about drugs. I mean, that's all they've been talking about for the past month. I'm hearing people say that there's some new shit in town, and it's strong, which is, cool,
Stuff
great.
coming from Theron's hold, probably, right? We went over that whole thing with you, I'm sure.
Yeah, that. God, I didn't even think about that. That's just. Well, shit. Yeah, that would probably explain that.
Yeah, that stuff was really strong.
He just kind of shoots you a little, like, really.
I didn't know what it was. I was curious. And then I learned that they
I'm not sure whether that doesn't explain why they're protesting hobgoblins.
Yeah, what's with the
because that's being made by humans.
Or are they just choosing someone to blame it on?
Well, I imagine it's probably being distributed through smokehouses. I mean, you smoke it, right?
Yeah.
Sure. So, who do you sell it to? People who sell smoky stuff. Hobgoblins do a lot of that.
I do.
Or at least they do in Humphill. Not to speak of every hobgoblin. He's kind of nervously looking around like, Barnaby in here? Did I just say something offensive?
Yes.
Nope. Barnaby doesn't do anything.
Yeah, sorry. it is a thing in Hop Hill. It is a fairly widespread thing, and it's grown a little bit more popular in Anglo's Landing, over the years. And the guys of Tyr don't appreciate it. Like, they're not real down with new people of any kind or anything they do. And, I would expect that this is probably going to get worse before it gets better. But, they're still going to overreact regardless.
That's
Sucks.
pretty awful that that's coming down.
Yeah. Not really something that we can get involved with either. Unless...
Not without dredging up old wounds.
Well... we could prove demons were behind it. Yeah, sure. Let's fucking crack some heads.
I mean, Willem was behind it.
Yeah, but we
Just
got him.
saying. Maybe it's demon heroin.
Also known as harrowing?
We can't hard to look into it. We got the guy. I'm not sure if you guys didn't see any other members of his crew doing what he could do, right?
I don't. Peter doesn't think so. Do we need? Is there something we could recall, or we're pretty confident?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the only one.
Not that we saw.
Yeah. Well,
I guess that I was about to drag the conversation down.
Is Gideon even more mad at me now? Yeah, I'll redirect back to Probably.
yeah, he was already avoiding you. I think he's probably going to make that a priority now. Not sure what you expected there.
What do you want out of this, Lauren?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Did you not laugh, Joe? Was that not funny?
If it had just been me and not my boss and commanding officer, yeah, maybe.
Fine. I'll just go, and Lauren will probably just walk out and leave.
Okay. All right. Well, we're all batting 1,000 tonight.
What was that?
He's like, we're all batting 1,000 tonight.
Well, Jade wants to come. Sorry, do you have more?
He's probably just going to head after Lauren just to check in.
Okay.
So.
I was going to say, if Jade wants to come to her room, I would. Again, it doesn't have to be a scene, but I would be curious because we learned that Illigal was like the dragon tombs were like very sacred land to the Dragonborn, right? Of Illigal. And so they don't like people desecrating, robbing, stealing from their tombs. Is that something that Jade is aware? Because I'd pitch it as like, we heard that these tombs, these old dragon temples are very sacred. Is that something you're aware of? Is that being accounted for in this mission you've agreed to, or is it kind of just like, who cares?
I am also aware of this. Illigal is not the easiest island in the sea to study, but Professor Ferrat is hopeful that she will be able to get in on account of her also being Dragonborn. So that is, a point in her favor. But she is also not from Illigal, so that is a point against her. So it's sort of a break even. I don't know. I mean, she seems hopeful, and we're not looking to damage anything. She's very interested in the history there, and it's not something that is necessarily easy to access. So I think she is eager to get in and get a look.
I mean, we were debating going to Illical, but it's not. But see, we've kind of sworn off of spelunking at this point.
That might be a little not your thing then. I am told tombs are typically very underground.
I've heard that.
So
Glad we have corroborating evidence now.
yes. I mean, I am passingly curious myself in dragon stuff. It's cool. Dragons are pretty cool. But Professor Fordyce also was offering a bit of money, so I kind of really wanted to get a win after Gynedos. So I am hopeful things work out.
Well, assuming if we do have to separate for a little while you go do that, and we do whatever we're going to do, I'm really looking forward to hearing, because, like I said, I wanted to go look into that place, but I, just never quite shook out that way.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I will do my best to draw everything I can. Never did quite get it to do, but I'll try. I'm sure Professor von Lath will have much more to say about everything we say, because that is very much her jam.
Well, I'll have to remember to chat with both of you.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for today.
All right.
Is there a night market in Freeport?
There are many night markets in Freeport.
Is there a slightly illegal night market in Freeport?
What sort of illegal goods are you looking for?
I don't know. Just feel like it'd be a fun activity to do.
Burberry's looking for a black market, folks.
Need a little heroin?
Look, I think we have learned about Burberry is that the interest of things sometimes outweighs how good of an idea things are.
It's fair.
Curiosity outweighs sense.
It's fair.
Mainly when religion is involved. But sometimes maybe I'll find some cool relics at the market if I can find it and or it exists.
I'll say this, Burberry. I think finding a marketplace for illicit goods is probably not going to be the easiest task in the world.
Of course not.
These sorts of things are typically pretty well hidden. So if you want to start looking, we can start that looking at that search process tonight.
If only I knew a good place to find some trickster clerics.
We'll start at the conclave. Before that, we did want to get in touch with Lauren from Gerald. I do think he is genuinely concerned. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's going on? Nothing? Okay, good talk. All right, anyways, Burberry.
Such a well figured out relationship they have.
Yo, seriously, what's going on?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You're the one asking me.
You're the one who walked off and I was just like, fine.
It's going so well.
What?
Thought I was being bothersome, so I left.
Okay. That sounds a little heavier than I was expecting it to be. All right. Should probably talk about that. So, I don't know if you want to play that out right now. He is definitely a little concerned just because you have been behaving a little erratically lately from his view. And he's like, I don't follow because you're really antagonizing my boss. And you seem really upset about it.
About what? Just antagonizing her?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
I don't really know.
We'll revisit that later. So Gerald and Lauren will have a conversation tonight. Burberry is going to ask at the Temple of Viridia about shady shit. Let's see here. Okay. You would probably be able to find probably like a cleric of who would you find here?
I mean, I figure worst comes to worst. If I do find a trickster cleric, probably the worst that would happen is he sends me on a wild goose chase because he thought it was funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the person you meet is a lizard folk cleric.
That means that he doesn't play pranks because he takes everything literally great.
But he's a cleric of Kur. So he is dressed in the same sort of dark, like deep black robes and like silver filigree, like real sort of.
Are you friends with Father Severus?
This one is familiar with the father. Are you friends?
Yes, we actually met the last time. I was attempting to learn a little bit more about Kur, because it's fascinating mythology. Well, I guess mythology is technically something that's not, you know what I mean? History.
Everything Kua has ever done and claimed to do happened, as he says.
Exactly. I loved hearing about the history of it. That was the correct word. I'm sorry.
You are learning. Good. What can this one do for you?
Well, I haven't been in town as long as a lot of the people who live here. I am more of a visitor. And I was curious if there was any sort of market for things that couldn't be openly sold.
The eyes kind of narrow. You see the nictitating membrane kind of flick over the eyes for a moment. He says,
Is this one looking for drugs, slaves, or weapons?
What are you looking for, Burberry?
All of the above.
Drugs for a lord.
Okay. Will pay you not to mention the first one to a friend of mine, even though you'll probably never meet her. I am curious to see the second one, and the third one is interesting.
I'll say give me a persuasion check.
I am actually going to give him money to never mention that market to a I got 20!
Yay!
I'm excited. This never happens. So I guess that total is, a 20.
Just a 20. Okay. I think the lizard folk very slowly just kind of scratches the dewlap under their chin, and you just hear them continue to
This one is unsure if it is wise to expose you to the cistern.
Have you been, and would you like to go again?
I have already made my monthly trip. But
he will pull out a piece of paper and scribble a couple of things down.
You share this with no one.
Of course.
This one will find Mind you.
And he will very carefully tuck the piece of paper into your robe.
I thank you. Here, have 5 gold. If you ever meet anyone named Aloran, do not tell her about the first one. And would you like a squidsicle?
This one would love a squidsicle.
I give him a squidsicle.
He takes it and eats it in one bite. Just doesn't chew, just swallows it.
I give him another one.
This one makes no promises about Aloran. Thank you. And he walks away.
Entirely fair. Thank you very much. What was your name again?
This one is called Ishi.
Ishi? I-S-H-I-I?
I-S-H-E.
I-S-H-E. It was lovely meeting you.
And I'm totally making a note that you exist because I like you, Ishi, and I want to see you again.
I forget.
All right. So you have learned.
Are both of the ones that he mentioned in the same place, or are they 2 different places?
So looking at the paper, they called it the cistern, and what you see is an address, and the words doorman, colon, Caden. Password. Let me in. I'm here to buy illegal shit.
Sounds legit.
Love it.
Hope I'm getting trolled by lizard folk because that would just make my day.
Bring a Lauren with.
I know better.
Fair. Save her from this uncomfortable conversation with Gerald. All she wants.
Nah, no, like honestly, the list, the inner list, which you guys will never hear. Aloran, I know better. Barnaby, I really know better. John, probably be down, but he would draw a lot of attention to himself. Yes, this coming for Burberry, don't worry about it. And Noelle, I don't want to bother her. I feel like she's got better things to do.
I promise you I don't.
So yeah,
Is that everything
that's the logic there.
Okay. So what are you doing, Burberry?
Well, apparently I'm going to see a man about a illegal shit. I will go ahead and cast sending to Noelle and say, I might be doing something that's not a great idea. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, I've probably been kidnapped.
Christ, Burberry. Oh my god.
It was a long pause. So long, you kind of thought it just fizzled.
Oh, she must be asleep. I don't want to bother.
I was about to go to bed. Are you going to be okay? Can you tell me where you are at least, please? Oh, right. I'll cast sending. Where are you, Burberry, at least, so I can sleep and know where to go if something horrible happens?
I'll say the intersection of blank and blank.
Sure.
Okay.
Based on the suite number, it looks like it's like a basement apartment.
Yeah.
All right. I will keep that in mind.
Okay. So, Burberry, you head to this address. This is not too far off the Iron Wharf, pretty close to the neighborhood called Hobbsby. Just a small hobgoblin community of fishermen. But this is more of sort of a tenement building. Yeah, Barnaby perks up. It's more of like a tenement building neighborhood. and you head up the street indicated and find the stairwell down to the basement level. There's a single door there down underneath kind of the stairs leading into the main building. Heavy reinforced door, and you can see what looks like one of those little slidey view latches. Currently closed.
I knock.
Okay. There is no answer.
Kaden?
Knock, knock, knock. Okay. On the second knock, you hear some rummaging, and then a very muffled voice on the other side of the door. Who is it?
Password.
Apparently, there's a password of "Let me in. I want to buy illegal shit."
You see the latch on the door, and like a pair of man's eyes looking down at you, very cross, and
I got trolled.
you just hear, "Ishi sent you, didn't she?"
He was trolling me, wasn't he?
He will open the door, and you'll hear the on the latches, and the door just cracks open a little bit, and you can see a man in a duster with a little pewter star pinned to the breast pocket, with a handful of other individuals sitting in around a table, like playing cards. All of them dressed in a similar fashion. And he's like,
Hey.
Yeah. He does that a lot. She does that a lot.
Well, in that case, I am sorry for disturbing you. Would you like a squid sickle?
He just closes the door. You just hear the latches up. And you just hear voices inside. It's like, who's at the door? Another priest. How do they keep coming? It's that damn. Just kind of fades away, grumbling.
I giggle my ass off all the way back to the Presidium.
Meanwhile, Noel's having a panic attack.
I'll let her know when I get back.
Alright.
An hour later, yeah. So,
I got pranked and it was amazing.
You don't expect a lizard folk to be a prankster. But they exist!
I don't think I've ever met one.
Oh, they're very literal. Never use metaphors or analogies around them. They will not get it.
That's good to know.
Which is why it's so funny that there's one that pranked me.
That is funny. Well, I'm going to bed.
Wait, where did you
I
get
was
this
the most
flash installed?
disinterested. That's funny.
Berber, you just hear Jade's voice from behind the door. Who is at the door?
See,
I knew she
it was
had
one
better
of those
things to do.
priests.
I don't
So,
think she refers or likes to be called as it or better things to do,
I mean, you know,
better persons to do.
Yeah, but that sounds crass. I'm not a lizard folk.
So, another day comes and goes. You guys left a warning with the Emerald Real Company's Director of Finance and Investments. And then almost got caught on your first break-in to Amelia and Martin's hotel room, which appears to have been staked out. Pretty good day. Good progress.
Lesson learned.
And yeah, lesson learned. Come morning, I think you guys will wake up to a bright and shiny day. Breakfast is ready in the Grey Hall.
Like we're all waiting for the shoe to drop.
I'm going to immediately mess
Yeah,
her.
right?
I'm going to immediately send to Ishii and be like, "You completely got me. I thought I was going to get arrested." And there's just like cackling at the end of the message.
This one is surprised you weren't. Same. This one must try harder.
Yeah, you guys wake up another day.
Okay.
I think this might be where we stop for the night because it is midnight central.
You're not gonna drop the bomb on us?
There's no bomb.
Suddenly, La Chirag, Gideon rips off his outfit, and he was La Chirag all along.
Aaron
And then
tears off
Lashirag
her
rips off
helmet.
his head, and it was Noel all along.
And Gideon turns out is Varys.
Yeah.
Or sorry, what's his name? Gerald is Varys. There you go.
Yeah,
And
Lauren
Lauren-
and Noel both having the same nightmare bolt up at the same moment this morning.
No, Lauren's just actually been pie this whole time.
She looks in the mirror. It's just like this crazy frosted tipped hair and
Oh, dear God.
skinny little mustache.
I am fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, outside of your nightmare, nothing to report this morning. So, good session, very entertaining. I have a sense of where things are going, so I can now prep in that direction.
Cool, because I don't think any of us do.
We're going into this without much understanding of how to approach it. So
Yeah, same. So glad to see the first attempt at derailing her plans.
I mean, now I'm just gonna have to find an art market for real. Now I'm determined.
here's a question: did Lauren see this caster guard at any point? I guess Noel also saw several of the guards. Did we ever see this guy before today?
You did not see him while you were previously spying on the quarter matches, while you were meeting with them. Like he's a new face to you guys, but he is still dressed in the same sort of fashion, same alien sort of heraldic colors and pantaloons and whatnot, just unarmored and very greasy. But he is an unfamiliar face to you.
So wait, if they're here to break the law, does that mean they're illegal aliens?
I feel like the whole campaign has been leading up to that joke, and we can just end now.